literally. I got the fucking remote. That would be awesome if we could get a remote.
Dude, you gotta get a random dancing.
We could get that loaded in. Before we start, I guess I'll just show you guys. I did upload the new sounds today, so we're working with two new. Are we not getting sound here?
No, I can't hear anything.
Oh, you know what it is?
Oh, there we go.
What about now?
It's very loud now.
Too loud?
Mm-hmm. There. Oh yeah, there we
That's
go.
good.
Yeah, that's.
That's one of the new ones.
Hey.
So
And,
this one goes.
That one's you, I think. Yeah.
This is good. I like this one.
Yes, it's the Luck of the Irish. Welcome back.
Is this our Irish jingle?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
called Feeling Lucky.
We talked about getting this one on.
Yeah, it's been big. A lot of stuff's been going on. It's very exciting. It's a very exciting day here in the studio. Today I'm joined by super producer Katie Fitzgibbons.
Hello.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Is that a boo?
We're joined by Katie and a very, 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 very special guest. That's like 4 berries.
That is.
I almost
that's four.
never use that many. But Jake, oh shit, I didn't mean to say your name. Run it from the top. But you are one of the first people that I met here. And
As are you.
and since then, you know, I think kind of my time at Michigan is in part defined by the work that we've done together. So that makes me very excited to have you on the show. You're continuing our trend. Every guest we've had so far is a Michigan native and resident, which I didn't plan on purpose, but
Let's keep it that way.
it's it's made me very kind of happy to do. Because I love Michigan, right, guys?
Mitten State, baby.
So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people?
Hello, I'm Jacob Lewis Primak.
Woo!
I was a senior here at the University of Michigan, and now I graduated. Thank you.
Oh, alumni, man. We got old quick. We got old in a hurry.
Yes, we did.
And we have so much to talk about, but let's start from the beginning. Let's take it back to Huntington Woods.
Huntington Woods, Michigan, my hometown. I was just there this morning. A lot
Shout
of the
out.
roads are.
Hey, what are you mad about? Yeah, so another fun wrinkle to the show, sorry to cut you off right as we get started, is Charlie likes to like make herself involved like this pretty early.
Yeah.
But she'll settle down eventually. So it's just it's a combination of powering through and determining when the cries become too much. Come here. You want to come here? You want to be involved?
Yeah, I think she wants water. Potentially.
And Katie,
Is
super
doing her
producer
producer
Katie,
duty,
has
yeah.
been like irreplaceable in keeping the dog watered.
Yeah,
have to
you gotta water your dogs, you
really,
guys.
If there's one thing, and like I have been meaning to use this platform as like a way to advocate for advocacy for dog ownership.
Yeah, advocacy.
And you gotta keep them
Advocation.
and you have to keep them watered. Huntington Woods. You were just there this weekend.
I was
you
just
said.
there. I just came from there.
Talk to me about it.
That's where I live. It's where I've lived since this July will be 20 years in the same house. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I'm from Huntington Woods. It is part of the Berkley School District.
Woo!
Yeah, Berkeley High School, home of the Bears. Go Bears. I went to high school with some of your cousins.
Yeah, so Huntington Woods is it's a personal connection with me. It's where my dad grew up, and it's where my uncle and cousins still live. So Berkeley my dad has told me stories about the infamously bad Berkley Bears football team of 1979.
And of 2015 to 2019.
Similarly infamously bad at the time.
Similarly infamously bad.
So yeah, I mean, I've been hearing stories about, Berkeley for forever. I'd never been, but I was super familiar with Huntington Woods, the neighborhood. I know a lot of the people. Like it's very tight knit. Like everyone knows each other. It's not necessarily small. Would you? I mean,
It's small. It's dense.
Yeah,
it's dense.
right.
So there's, it's a mile by a mile and a half.
yeah,
And part
geographically
of that,
small.
geographically small. It's part. The Detroit Zoo takes up a
Right.
big chunk of that, and so does a golf course. So it's like
Right.
it's small, but
It always felt coming
Yeah.
from Mattawan. It felt always so city to me. Which like now that I've been to other cities, I know that it's not. But it always felt that way.
It is a city with no. There's like 2 businesses. There's no downtown. It has
Right.
its own police department and fire department and school district. Well, not. It's part of another school
Right.
district, but it has.
It's basically
City
all
Hall.
homes.
It's all homes. City of
Yeah.
Homes. That's what it's called.
And there's
It's the
so many.
nickname.
There's so many homes.
So many homes, and a good chunk of the people that live there are pretty well off, and I'm
Yeah.
fortunate enough to live there. I am not part of that big chunk of people, but
But talk to me
I
about.
can dream.
So let's one day let's talk about Berkeley High, a public school.
Public school.
And what was
A
your
great-
what,
a
what
great
were-
public school.
What were you like at as a student?
I was a great student. I
Yeah?
busted my ass. I mean, like, look, I didn't, I would always put my homework off to the last minute, but I tried hard in class, and I asked questions, and I would go in before school a lot to do homework because I
Okay.
didn't like doing it at night. I was not very athletic.
Okay,
I was on the track team.
you did run track.
I ran track.
What events?
What events?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, so my freshman year, I was a sprinter, and I quickly found out that I was very slow. Not very slow. I'm fast, okay? Okay, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this without... All of my friends that brought me onto the team were on the distance team.
Okay.
All of the people on the sprinting team who were great, and I loved being on the team with them.
Uh-huh.
Guys, I was the only white kid
Yeah,
on the
sure.
sprint. So sophomore year. But during that time we had a 300-meter dash, we had a 100-meter dash, which they didn't let me do. I did the long jump for a little bit, and I
Wow.
did the 4x1, which I hated.
That's
Yeah.
relay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
I did not, or the 4x, yeah. Yeah, 4x1.
4x100. Yeah.
Mhm. No, the 4x4. Excuse me.
Oh,
4x4.
that- yeah, okay.
'Cause
So
I
that's
had to
more
run-
running,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was. Okay, so then sophomore year,
Track
I
team.
was on the distance team, and I
Okay.
started doing, the 1 mile and stuff. And then, like, way early in the season, I got tendonitis, and I had to stop. And I went to physical therapy for like 6 months.
Did you like to run, or was it just like, oh fuck, I'll do something?
The latter.
Yeah. Right.
I although sophomore year of college, I did run a lot because it was COVID, and so that was the only thing.
Fuck
you
am I
could
gonna
do.
do?
Yeah. And so I just I started running a lot, and I was getting pretty sexy, and it was keeping me in shape. And then I was and I just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Then I got even sexier.
Nice.
I got that dad bod.
And that's hard to. Yeah.
And this it's hard to stay in shape, but guys, it's even harder to stay in dad bod shape.
And because
arguably.
and I'm really glad you brought this up because it's such a sweet spot because the desire Katie you might actually be able to learn a
Yeah.
lot from that.
No, I'd love to learn. Show you away.
Katie,
I think
take notes.
the desire
Oh, you actually are.
the desirable dad bod is not a realistic dad bod, which is to say we've come a long way in society's idea of what a good, attractive man is.
Yeah.
We've come a long way,
The
but
beauty standards for dad bods are
that is to say, yeah, like you do have
so
to.
unrealistic.
You can't just fully let yourself go and then expect to have that. Dad bod does require some upkeep. Not a lot. Okay, not a lot.
Okay.
But
you do
a
have
tad.
you got to keep it a little tight. You got to keep it a little tight.
Mm-hmm.
You don't it's not definition. You don't need definition, but you can't be overflowing.
And here's an example of that. You can't have titties.
Oh, dude, that's been the biggest struggle of my
Problem
entire
for
life.
me there.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
You'll get past it. It's just a small obstacle. You can't have titties, but you can't have pecs. You have to have titties,
It's gotta be like almost not.
budding
Yeah.
man breasts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
do.
it's hard to keep
I
that
do
on
it. I
because you
work
have to
so
do like
hard.
some push-ups.
You gotta hit push-ups.
Yeah, you gotta do, like I do the diamond.
Nice.
Not anymore.
That's impressive.
I did do the diamond. And you gotta do like the wide arm and stuff.
Yeah.
But you gotta keep a little,
Yeah.
This
Which, if you this is the secret.
is the secret right here.
Keep a steady flow of these, and the gut will never leave you. Most people want it to leave them is the problem. But I'm saying, like, the great thing about the dad bod revolution is you don't have to ditch it.
No.
But you gotta
for
keep
every
it tight
season.
up top.
Yeah.
How do we get here? We were talking about so tendonitis knocks you off the track.
Tendonitis knocks me off the track. They did weird shit to me in physical therapy, man. Have you ever been in physical therapy?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
I tore a meniscus in high school.
Okay, see that's actually like a serious thing.
Yeah.
I had like I forgot the name of it. It was like posterior tibial tendonitis or something.
Yeah.
Inside of my right ankle, just above my right ankle, which has to do with me having really high arches and
Ooh.
really wide feet that don't quite go to the end of my shoes.
So are you Dr. Scholzing it?
Well, not right now.
Are
These
you a
New
Dr.
Balances.
Scholes? Do you put insoles in your shoes?
I got insoles in my shoes when I was in like 7th grade, and I've been using the same one since.
Okay.
Probably not.
Might need a new
useful
mapping.
anymore.
All right, continue.
Yeah. Oh, I did the mapping thing. It was
Nice.
It was complete bullshit.
Oh.
I went to Hanson's. Yeah.
Oh,
Hanson's
yeah.
is great, but the
Yeah,
thing that
shout
they
out
did was
Hanson's.
stupid. Yeah. Shout out Hanson's. Okay. So I did acupuncture.
Whoa.
They put acupuncture needles in the bottom of my foot in the plantar fascia because that was really tight. I have really tight calves and really tight
Okay, I do too.
Achilles tendon.
Do you find that affects your lower back?
Yes.
Too?
Yep. Especially when I'm like filming stuff.
Yeah.
I'm holding a camera. Yeah, dude, it's tight. My dad actually tore his Achilles tendon. He had to get surgery. So I have that.
That's the
same
most. That's
tight
the
tendon.
scariest injury in my opinion.
Oh
Just
yeah,
having
it's
that thing
horrifying. And
Detach from your.
yeah, I have a story about that I would like to tell later.
Alright.
But they put the electrical they put the needles in my foot and then they pumped electricity through them like a TENS machine through the needles. Weirdest feeling I've ever felt. My foot could like move itself. It was like auto animating. Like,
Did
like
it help? Did it feel good?
It didn't feel good. I don't know what
Yeah.
it did, man, but it was
Did you feel better after?
eventually after many months. Yes, I felt better, but I think a lot of that had to do with me putting insoles in my shoes.
Nice.
The other thing that they did, which I hated, was they would take cocoa butter. Now you think that sounds nice, right?
That sounds
Foot
relaxing.
massage, yeah. They take cocoa butter. They rub it all over the tendon that was like messed up, and then the bottom of my feet. And then they would take these plastic blades that are like about the size of what would you say this size
Pear.
is? A pear? It's like the size of a pair of
I was
sunglasses.
gonna say maybe like a credit card.
Credit card,
A little bigger than a credit card.
Yeah. Credit card are like sunglasses, and they're shaped. They're very ovular,
Okay.
and they would take that and they would take my toes and they would pull them back so that my plantar fascia, the tendon on the bottom of my foot, is taut, and they would take the blade and go
Dude, what the fuck?
right on the bottom of my foot. You guys, that is one of the most intense pains I've ever felt in my life. And my feet are ticklish. Yeah, and my feet are ticklish. So like,
Did you ever laugh when it happened?
yeah, and I'm like laughing, and I'm crying.
I wish I had one for you there, but I don't yet.
And
It's a baby. I gotta get a baby crying on here.
yeah,
And a cat meow. All right.
okay, and
Sorry.
yeah, so I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm snotting. Probably not that, but yeah, those were the two weirdest things it did to me.
So you weren't necessarily a big fan of physical therapy.
A lot of the stuff those are just like the two most outlandish, like weird things I wasn't expecting to do.
Yeah. Everything else
Overall, it
was
was great. They were great. The people I worked with were great. I forgot their names, and I forgot the place I went to, but it's on Woodward Avenue in the Detroit metro area, in Birmingham, at the corner of Woodward and 16, which is also Big Beaver. So,
Shout out.
shout out to that place, and I hope. Oh, one of the guys' names was Evan. Shout out Evan. He's the GOAT, and
At physical therapy.
What a
at
guy.
Big Beaver Physical Therapy.
Yeah, Big Beaver
Birmingham.
Woodward Physical Therapy. It's in this building. I had to go up a flight of stairs.
That's a
and,
nice
yeah.
plug for them. Maybe they'll sponsor the show. I'm trying to get sponsors now.
Yeah. Hey, so who are you working on right now? You cold calling
Bells.
people?
Maybe I'll call Bells. You know, the show's kind of about beer. Maybe I'll try to get maybe they can at least send some free beer to drink on the show.
Dude, if you had a never-ending supply of Oberon
Right?
for this show,
I could get guests whenever.
I have a friend whose family owns Founders.
Nice. Grand
Oh,
Rapids.
oh wait, for real,
Yeah.
Founders?
Mhm.
Nice.
So I
Well,
can
let's
look
get in
into
touch with
that,
them.
Yeah.
Let's get in touch.
Definitely
with
get in touch with Founders. Founders is the shit.
I mean, I do love I love supporting obviously the show is a lot about supporting Michigan.
Yeah.
And so I love Founders, but
Gotta support the mitten.
Bell's 269.
Oh
A
yeah.
little bit better. But Founders would be great.
Hey, you could get shorts.
Oh,
Hit up shorts.
that would be awesome.
Hit up shorts or
If we could get shorts involved in the show.
something small like Anheuser-Busch, like PepsiCo or something like that.
Some
Yeah.
small startup type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, you know.
All right. But okay, so
So yeah, physical
That's-
therapy
all right.
happened.
that's your athletic. That's pretty much
That's my athletic
ends your
career.
athletic career in
Yeah.
high school.
I made a lot of videos in high school.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring us to.
So I made the video announcements for 2 years that no one watched. But
Was
I
that a
thought they were
weekly
funny.
thing?
Yeah, every week we did it. It was on, I don't know what day. It was like Tuesday or something.
A school sanctioned and broadcast.
Yes,
event.
it was in my news and broadcasting class because they couldn't call it film video production class because the teacher didn't have the correct certification or something.
licensing
Shout
or
out Kay
whatever.
Matthews. I miss you.
We'll let the whole thing play for
Yeah,
Kay.
yeah. Miss Matthews did not like me in that
No?
class, but
Distracting.
no, I don't know why. I got all my videos in on time. I thought my quality was good. I don't know, but in recent years she has emailed me and been like, "Oh my god, I miss you so much." So I'm just gonna take that as she secretly loved me, but
She was trying to give you tough love.
She was trying to give me tough love to just give me pushback because I was so good.
You were such a gifted
I
student.
was so gifted. So I did that. I made little commercials for people. I won the BHS English Award as a senior.
That's the
as a
Berkeley High School English Award.
Berkeley High School English Awards given to my name is on a cup somewhere in Berkeley, like a
in the
trophy.
Hall of Honor, yeah.
Yeah, we went back when we were filming Reverence last year because we filmed it at Berkeley, and I
Right.
was looking for the trophy and I couldn't find it, so I think it's in the principal's office. But I was sitting in it was the scholarship convocation where it is announced if students won scholarships, and I didn't know that scholarships were a thing, and I didn't apply to any, but I went anyway because there was some other thing. And my favorite English teacher, Paul Serpiel, who just retired. So can we get a clap for Paul Serpiel? Yes, one of the best teachers ever. Period.
Shout out,
you
Paul.
may think you had good teachers. No, you didn't.
You
They were
didn't
all
have a
pieces
Paul
of
Serp-
shit compared to Paul Serpiel.
Paul Serpiel.
So he goes on stage and he's talking about the BHS English Award. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know they had that. And he's talking about this student who won it. And I was like, oh, damn, I wish I was like this
He
student.
sounds cool.
Yeah, they sound really cool because he wasn't using pronouns. And then he called my name. And I was like,
Nice.
what? And my mom, we didn't get a video of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no,
Nice.
there's one picture and it's blurry.
And you're like,
Yeah,
we're
but
surprised.
That was a very cool thing. So I won that because of all the scripts I wrote, and that he helped me out with a lot of the videos I did. And we in his class, my freshman year, we had an assignment where we had to make a story about a hero's journey. We can make a video, we can make a book, a comic strip, or an essay. You guys know which one I chose.
Yeah.
We made a 17-minute thing about
Nice.
4 guys trying to get to Lafayette, Coney Island in Detroit. Shout out Lafayette. And we went there and we filmed there, and some of the staff was in it.
Nice.
And that was my project, and so I think that was
Nice.
the impetus for that. So yeah, I was a good student. I did a lot of AP classes. I was good at math. I'm no longer good at math. I was good
Right.
at physics. I'm no longer good at physics.
Yeah.
That
That just happens, huh, dude? You stop doing
Yeah.
that shit for a few years, and it's like, oh man, I used to know how. These numbers used to click in my brain.
Dude, I was
I'm
looking
a
through.
fucking idiot.
Yeah, I am. I was looking through old pictures from 2018 on my phone, and I was doing
differential equations.
Differential equation. What's it called when you do the thing in math when you have like the little s on the side with the
Sigma
with the limits?
notation?
No, the limits at the top and bottom.
Derivatives?
Derivatives. I was looking at derivatives like, what the fuck is this? I used to be able to just
boom,
hammer those
bang it
out. Like, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Like, got it. And yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So that was me in high school.
That's awesome. And so I think we were similar in that we both and your actual love for making videos started way before that, way before high school, when you were a baby.
I started making videos as an infant.
Yeah.
No, but when I was a very little kid, my mom took a lot of home movies.
There was
with
always
me.
a camera on you.
There's always a camera on me. I mean, you saw.
Yeah.
I made a this past year. I made a project called Movie, which consisted of a bunch of home video footage from my childhood that I edited together because I used to ask my mom to turn the screen of our camcorder over so I could see myself on camera.
Yeah.
Like every time she filmed. So I went through and I painstakingly watched every 30-minute long tape because they're all tapes that we digitized. And I marked every time I said that and then I found all of them and put them in the video.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
it's a really cool editing display.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it and I'm glad that I think it turned out well and
it resonated.
Yeah. I liked I didn't know how people were going to feel about it cuz I did it for an experimental editing class, so I had to throw in some stuff that had to be experimental.
It's a little avant-garde.
Very avant-garde. And then in the video, I grow up because there's footage of me from every age, and then it goes to present day to the thing I most recently made at that point.
Right.
So
that's to say that you've had a whole, and so that's kind of similar to me, where I also probably elementary school was oh, I like to make videos, and then it evolved until I got to high school where I also had an English teacher turned digital media teacher that kind of took me under his wing and let me do video stuff. And so I think we were also similar in that when we decided to come to Michigan, was Michigan your top choice?
Top choice.
Nice.
I applied to 4 places. How many places did you apply to?
I applied to USC, NYU, UCLA, Emerson in Boston, and here.
Did you get into...
I got in here. I got a pretty nice scholarship from Emerson, and I got rejected from USC, UCLA, NYU.
I didn't even apply to USC or UCLA or NYU because I was just there's no way.
Fuck them.
I can afford that. Yeah. But I applied to here, Michigan State.
Nice.
It's Michigan State. Yeah, there we go. Columbia College, Chicago.
Nice.
Which I did. I visited there. I toured there. And I had friends that go there. It was nice. It was cool.
As well.
It was cool. And Wayne State.
Oh, go Knights.
Warriors. Got into, not to flex, I did get into all of them, and I chose Michigan, obviously. I wanted to go to, if I didn't get into Michigan, I would have been extremely upset. Like that, and I am so happy because...
And you came here knowing you wanted to be a film major.
Came here knowing I wanted to be a film major. They just changed the name of the film major from SAC to FTVM.
Huge.
Screen Arts and Cultures does not make a lick of sense.
Yeah, and you had to tell people that you were a SAC major, which is no good. That's no good.
Exactly. So now it's film, television, media. It's growing really quickly.
It felt really good to say that you were a film major. I remember thinking that's awesome. I'm a film student.
So I bet you guys have had similar experiences to this, but you meet someone at a bar, right? And they're like, "Oh, what major are you?"
Yeah.
Or I'm like, "What major are you?" They're like, "Oh, I'm econ." I'm like, "Oh, cool." They're like, "What about you?" And I'm like, "I'm film." They're like, "Oh my god, really? That's awesome."
Yeah.
So you want to make movies?
Yeah.
Does that happen
all the
to
time?
you?
It's
Same
so
thing,
fun.
Right?
It's so fun.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah.
So you guys just make videos all the time, for your projects and shit. What's your capstone? I'm like, what the fuck is a capstone?
Yeah.
But so you. Does that happen to you?
Yeah,
Did that
all
happen
the
to you?
time.
Kate? Yeah.
A little different because I say film and anthropology, and then they're like, "What the hell do you do with that?"
Yeah.
Make a sick ass movie.
But that's
about
also interesting because a lot of the
things.
people that we've had on the show and a lot of people that I talk to, our film majors are like, "Well, I'm pairing this with something, so I at least feel like I had something." But my mindset, and I'm assuming yours, was like, no, I'm just gonna do film.
Do I wish I had another major? Yes and no. Yes, on paper, so I could
Right.
say that I had a more concrete more academic college experience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do.
No.
I wouldn't want to do that work. I didn't have time.
Sit in business classes or econ classes.
No,
That sounds
no.
miserable.
If you could
Yeah.
choose, though, what would your other major be?
My other major would have been history.
Oh, that's a
Ooh.
good choice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
I really like history a lot.
Okay, so Macy Goller came in as a history major, and I asked them, "What's your favorite era? What's your favorite little slice of history? Like, what's the one
Oh shit.
period that makes like your fucking gears turn?" Mine's Russian from like 20th century Russia.
Yeah, you're big. I know. I mean, looking at all your Russian paraphernalia around here, Hunter. You got the logo of the Russian McDonald's now. I guess you're a big fan of them, huh?
What?
The fake Russian McDonald's. You got the
Oh,
Russian
I did see
flag
that. I
right
saw
here.
that. Okay, well,
Yeah.
easy. Don't out like everything in my room.
Well, can I just please ask about the Ukraine flag with the big red circle with the
No,
line through
no,
it in
no.
front of it?
No, you can't. You can't.
Dude, are
ask
you
me
okay?
about
All
that.
right, but no, seriously. Wait, what?
I don't like
Yeah,
I don't
yours
like
is
20th century Russia because I thought they were all good. I just think it's interesting. I just think it's crazy that it happened like that.
It did happen like that, and
They were
that
like
was
high
pretty
schoolers
crazy.
with the most like I guess that's kind of all of history in every industry to some extent where it's just like gossip inflated to a scale because of the amount of money and power, but like I just think it's crazy.
Like Youth Revolt in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so you like 20th century Russia. You like the Soviet Union.
I like the
Do you have-
Bolsheviks.
Yeah.
Do I have the Soviet national anthem on here?
Please.
I wish I have this.
That's the closest we're gonna get. Hunter's a big hammer and sickle guy. You heard
my
it here,
God.
folks. Okay, but I like.
My dad's gonna be pissed when he hears that.
I have a question about your dad in a little bit. By the way. I like mid 20th century American history minus the racism and like other political stuff that I don't find very fun or good.
Like because I took a 60s class, which I mean dealt a lot with that, but I think that's like the most interesting
The 60s
time in human history.
Yeah, I think like from like post-war, like just post-war,
Yeah.
basically the entire Cold War, but from the American
Yeah.
side, just because of the advances in pop culture and the political gains and losses.
Yeah.
The entire civil rights movement,
yeah.
the unrest and
Yeah, dude, the music just got better.
Oh my God. 50s
Movies
through
got
like
better.
90s, yeah, movies got
Yeah.
better. I just watched the movie The Apartment on the plane back from Iceland
Oh, no.
a couple days ago. You would really like it.
Yeah.
Best Billy Wilder,
Oh, okay.
Jack Lemmon,
Okay.
Shirley MacLaine, and
The
Fred McMurray.
Apartment. I'll add it to the list. I watched Raging Bull last night.
I saw it on Letterboxd.
Didn't love it.
I've
love it.
watched. I have not seen the whole thing yet, but it's on my list.
We
and I
had
will.
we also had Lance on the show, who is a Scorsese stan, and Raging Bull is his favorite movie ever. So I told him I'd
Oh.
watch it, and I didn't. It's one of those movies that's about. It's one of those Scorsese films about a white guy that wants to abuse a woman, or does, like most of them, like most Scorsese films, and literally the whole movie, pretty much is like Jake LaMotta, Robert De Niro, just like getting the shit kicked out of him in the ring, and then beating a guy up, and then like being really mean to his wife.
I have seen that
That's
opening
pretty
scene
much
of
the
him
whole
in the
movie.
apartment with his wife being like a dick. And then
Yeah, that's his first wife.
what is
and then
Joe?
and then he marries a 15-year-old girl, and then is abusive to
hot.
her for like 11 years. It's weird, dude. The 40s were like, that just kind of happened. I think in the 40s, where like you could court just a high school.
Yeah, you
girl.
can go out and get a spunky
At the
dame.
like they
and-
all hung out at like the neighborhood pool.
Oh yeah, the watering hole. You can put a ring on them and pump them
Crazy.
full of babies. And
It's no
get a
good.
nice
dude.
house out in the suburbs in Levittown.
But then, and I don't. It's not a spoiler. He turns into a stand-up comedian at the end.
Does he actually?
Yeah.
I started watching the King of Comedy
Right,
right now.
that's
It's
also on
free
my
on
list.
YouTube.
Oh, really?
With ads.
Okay.
I
well,
watched the
fuck
opening
no.
scene. Dude, it doesn't look like a movie that was shot in 1983. I don't know what like they were
It
shooting.
looks worse.
No, it looks good.
It looks really
It
good.
looks like I can't describe it. Maybe it's just because I was watching it on my phone at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
this morning. I'm still on Icelandic time.
Nice.
They're 4 hours ahead of us, and so I've been waking up at like 5 a.m.
I will say, Raging
morning.
Bull looked awesome. Like, technically, looks really cool. And,
Yeah, I
De
gotta
Niro
check it
is
out.
like, it's fucking Robert De Niro. So
Right.
he's gonna be good to watch.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one of the best movies ever.
I'm really excited for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. I don't
Flowers of the Killer Moon. Moons of the...
Flower Moon Killer. The Flower Moon Killer.
Yeah.
Let's move on from Scorsese. Let's get to Michigan.
University of Michigan.
So you and me both.
Home of the Victors.
We declare major as soon as we can. First semester, freshman year.
Yep, I did it. I met...
I remember.
I don't think I met you there, though.
No, I think we met before then.
Did we meet?
Because I think we
Bop
met.
Bop was before
yeah.
that.
So before, so I remember that major declaration because I remember like Jonah and Ben.
Yeah.
And like us, and I was like, man, this is like, these are the fucking guys that I'm gonna know for a few years. But I remember the mass meeting for Wolf TV when Brendan Dooley fell through that glass table. Do you remember that?
I was not there. Because I didn't know about Wolf TV. I didn't know about anything in the entire... Jonah told me about Bop.
Oh.
I had met Jonah like one of the first days.
Okay.
I forgot where I met him. Because I met Ed. And I'd made something with Jonah and Ed and our friend Deborah, who now goes...
Joan Nager.
What?
Deborah Joan Nager.
Yep, Deborah Joan Nager. Deborah goes to a school in Cincinnati now. But Deb did go here. I met Deb at orientation. Okay. And so we made something like very early on for Campus Movie Fest, which was a thing that I don't think they've had here since then. Do you know that?
Did you do it with Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed. I was busy that semester, but Ed reached out to me.
Oh, really? Wow. That's so fun. Freshman year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did you meet Ed through Wolf TV?
I met Ed. You know how freshman year you would like walk to parties in these massive groups? I met Ed in one of those massive
big groups. Interesting. Because I kind of just figured I met both of you. And I think I still did meet both of you through Breach of Peace. I definitely met you through Breach of Peace.
Mm-hmm.
I met Katie through Breach of Peace for sure. I met you. I had to have met you before that.
Yeah.
We had to.
But I wasn't in. I hadn't joined. The only thing I was doing was Wolf Sports and Breach of Peace. Well, those were the only real extracurricular things I was doing.
Yeah,
freshman year.
So one day, I was like with Jonah, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta go somewhere." I was like, "Oh, where are you going?" He's like, "It's just like sketch comedy, like club." I was like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything. Can I come?" He's like, "Yeah." So he led me down to the green room in North Quad,
baby,
in the
basement of North Quad,
the chill zone, as it is known. And I didn't know that Demetrius Fields was in that class because I saw him at the I Need to Be Held premiere, and I was like, "Dude, it's great to meet you in person." Like totally having my memory like completely wiped that I met him and like went to multiple sessions of this club with him. I just like, didn't remember.
I remember being in 150 with him. Do you want to check if that's stopped recording really quick?
You got sent home.
Dude, my memory is so fucking bad. No.
COVID was just like a blip. Like Katie and I had a class. We had primitive navigation together.
Wayfinding and navigation.
Wayfinding and navigation.
Just like looking at the stars.
On my canvas thing, it said primitive navigation.
Oh.
Looking at stars.
Yeah,
to
it was
navigate.
actually an amazing class.
It was cool.
That sounds kind of cool.
It was hard. Like not technically, but like the amount of things that you had to do, and then you could get the littlest thing wrong, and everything else would be wrong. All your calculations. It was our quantitative reasoning class, and it was basically Pythagorean theorem of the class.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we had to walk in the cold to the bridge over South State to do the Al Glick Fieldhouse thing.
It was like a terrible semester to take it. You should have done it in the fall
Yeah,
semester.
should have done it in the fall.
It was so cold.
Yeah, because a lot of it's outside. You have to walk around and take a picture of the flagpole and then figure out how many like units tall it is based on your thumb. Right. It was cool. I really liked it. They stopped teaching it.
I know. I wonder if the professor's still here because she was like the
really
direct. Like she worked under the person who wrote the book that the class was based off of.
Right.
And I still have that book.
Me too.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I thought that class was like one of my favorite classes ever.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I don't think Katie liked me in that class, Hunter. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
I can't speak on that. I know I know the way that I presented myself my freshman year of college, I'm very embarrassed about.
I'm embarrassed about the way I presented myself every year.
Well, I'm just like, I know that like I've had people, especially people in like Ben Wishney one time was recounting something that I said to him freshman year that I had no memory of.
It was probably really racist.
It it was not, and it had nothing to do with communism, but it was just a really embarrassing thing to have someone. He was like, that was my first impression of you, and like that's like what you were in my head for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was like not fun for me to hear, but I don't think, I think,
Yeah.
humans are complex or whatever.
I don't know if I'm gonna talk on it. I was pretty like guarded freshman year, so I didn't make a lot of friends.
Yeah, you sure didn't.
No, okay. Well, what I wanted to
just
say
kidding.
is the exact dates of which we met are unimportant because there is videographic evidence of our of our meetings at the time. Because so first year pre-COVID, we're scrambling to create content without the fear of the impending shutdown of the world. We just
Without any knowledge either.
without knowing what we're doing, without allegedly being funny. That's up for debate. But like I remember just thinking this is so fucking awesome because this is what I've been doing at home, but now I'm in a spot that has like so many resources and like you could just go get a fucking nice camera.
Yeah.
And like also there were so many people that wanted to do like I would beg my friends were a lot of times happy to be in videos, but like there were points where I would just have to beg people to like make a video with me in high school. That I mean to some degree that was the case as you got into the producer phases later, but I felt like freshman year it was so easy to get a group of 10 people to come together and make a fucking video. So
you could be in any of the lecture halls after hours. Like they're just all unlocked. You don't have to reserve any of them.
You could get locations so easily.
I mean, I don't think we were allowed to be in Auditorium D when we did college geographic.
So that's what I wanted to bring up. So I
Yeah.
think that was the first. I think
that was the first
in
thing we
rapid
worked
succession.
on. Yeah.
I made because at the start of Breach of Peace, which is now completely defunct, it was huge.
Still going strong.
There was like 40 people there, so they split everyone up. And I remember the first group I was in consisted of Katie and Ajaya Masti.
Yep.
And Anna Friedman and Rohan Malatira. And
You gotta get him on the podcast, bro.
dude, I would love to have Rohan on the show.
He's around this summer. You should
And
get him
Timothy Hardiel. And was that it? Am I forgetting
Are
anybody?
we talking about like the one video we made?
I'm talking about Everybody's Gotta Die.
I think this is
Yeah,
before I
that's
joined
it.
Bop.
I
think
think
I joined
this may have
late.
been one meeting before you showed up.
Yeah.
Because this is in the span of 2 hours. We wrote a sketch that was a parody of a sitcom. And then we got Sievert at the time, who was not only running Wolf TV, but also had Rob Gingrich Jones's job. He was employed by the school as just the fucking gatekeeper because Rob was on leave for something. Rob was on sabbatical, so for like a semester and a
God.
half, Sievert had Rob's job.
Rob's job is hard.
I know, dude.
I mean, after taking 302, which is a multicam TV class, and seeing what Rob Gingrich Jones, who
Yeah.
works in the basement of North Quad and does everything down there, dude, he is like, and we
Nonstop.
come to class one day and there's like a whole set built, and
Yeah.
Terry's like, oh yeah, Terry Saris, love her, we'll give to her later, and Terry's like, yeah, Rob just whipped this up last night. I'm like, we're all like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude. Those guys are fucking heroes down there.
Yeah.
We got to shout out Rob and Paul and Alan.
Oh, yeah. No, I hate those guys.
No, they made our dreams come true. But anyways, we convinced so after we wrote the script in what must have been 25 minutes with no rewrites.
I think Justin was there.
Levine?
No, Justin Feynman?
Justin
Feinberg.
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 Justin Feinberg.
I remember Justin Feinberg.
Justin Feinberg was there and was like texting a girl the whole time or something.
Yeah,
Like did not
he
he did film it for us. Okay, so
and
we
was
got
like, this is
we got Sievert. He was producing the sketch. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because Julian Poza, do you remember Julian Poza?
No.
Oh, did you ever? He produced College Geographic. He was the guy sniffing and scratching his pencil in College Geographic. He had like that long blonde hair and glasses. He was the third producer of Breach of Peace. That was a senior and like went to law school. I think he's doing well. I wish I kept more in touch with him.
Julian Poza Esquire.
Julian Poza Esquire, dude, the Michigan Time legend. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked again. We get Justin to open the. We get Sievert to open stage. Stage
studio.
No, we got him to
B?
open Studio B, which he was not allowed to do, because Wolf TV was only supposed to shoot in Studio A.
Right, because you were in the kitchen for Somebody's Gotta Die. Oh my god!
So Sievert,
I haven't seen this in like 4 years.
Sievert opened Studio B for us, and Justin films one of the worst things that I've ever made. Like,
it was horrible.
Dating back to 6th grade.
Yeah.
After I edited it together, I was like, oh man, I made a real fucking stinker here. But it was dipping our toes in the water.
I
you
haven't
know?
seen it since freshman year.
Well, here's the thing: is I finished editing it and it was uploaded for 2 days, and then Sievert texted me and said, "You need to take that down because if people at the school see that you were allowed to shoot in there and it comes back to me, then I'll fucking get fired or whatever."
God.
So Somebody's Gotta Die is officially, for the sake of
It's lost
the general
media?
public, it's lost media. It's gone.
Oh my god. Do you have a copy of it?
Oh my god! If I really scoured every fucking file dump I have, I could maybe find it.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How was your day? It's pretty bad. My cat Spandex just died.
Hey, well, keep your head up. At least your name isn't Spandex.
This hardly seems like the time for jokes, Katie.
But the
I
point
need
is,
to do that.
for the sake of this video, maybe I will try to find it. The point is, I had a lot of fun working with Katie and Rohan, and and Jay. Most of the people there ended up kind of falling out of the sketch comedy scene, but it was a cool first thing. And then I got to the scope and scale went up a little bit with College Geographic.
College Geographic with Ariel Berman
Oh
and
my
Ina
god,
Shintre
the
and-
incomparable writer-director duo, Ariel Berman and Ina Shintre. And talk to me how you came to be involved in
College Geographic.
College Geographic.
We were there at the meeting, and Inish and Ariel were like, "We need someone to do the
The Bear Grylls
the
voice.
Bear Grylls voice." But I did like an Australian voice, and so but they were like, "Okay, you got it." And then Inish brought me this we went to the lecture hall we filmed it at, and I was wearing this
You were more
vest.
of a perversion of Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
Yes, I was more like Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
I just watched Man vs. Wild yesterday because Max is a thing now. The
new streaming service.
Shout out to
The one to watch.
the one to watch. Shout out Max. Can we get a boo?
Yeah, one sec. Say it again.
Shout out to Max. The
The one to watch.
one to watch. Nah, okay, but like for real though, now that there's Discovery shit on there, I can watch every season of Man vs. Wild.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
And HGTV shows.
Yes.
Property Bros.
Yes. So, Man vs. Wild was great. But like Bear Grylls kind of talks like
Yeah.
this. He's always talking in the same pattern, and it goes up.
that's good,
and
Bear
down.
Grylls.
My name's Bear Grylls, and I live in the wild. And I was British Special Forces, and I'm gonna have to drink my own piss. So,
That's great.
but I did like this, like back when the College Geographic. Yeah.
Yes, so College Geographic.
I don't remember my
came
name
from the
in it,
demented
though.
brain of Ariel and Inish, and it was just a real nature documentary parody of what a
College
freshman
students.
econ class would look like.
Yeah. with a Russian teacher played by Oleg
Karyatov.
Karyatov.
Wait,
Oleg
did Oleg
K.
teach aliens?
Huh?
Oh, is this not?
No,
is this
Oleg's a
character?
student.
Yeah,
he was a
Oh
student.
my
Wait,
God.
you were in
I had
this
like
sketch,
a
weren't
Russian
you?
teacher named Oleg.
Did you actually?
Nice.
Yeah. who
Oh, shit.
taught-
Oh, that actually may have. Wasn't he a G? No, he wasn't.
No, he was a fifth. No, he was a senior, but then he did a fifth year. Where is he?
He might still be in that place on Hamilton, or he may have been sent back to Russia. And
I hope
we'll never
that's
see
what I
him
hope
again.
didn't happen because he was really freaked out about that. But we did that. I acted.
And Katie
it
was in that
great.
sketch as
Katie was in
well.
it. Jonah was in it.
Jonah was in that sketch.
You were in it.
I was in that
But
sketch.
I didn't know you. Like I knew you, but like we weren't like tight.
We weren't tight yet.
I don't know. I
I
was.
was,
Like, oh, it's Hunter.
I
He's,
was
like,
brought
cool.
in. I
also-
sat alone, and was a like young conservative in that sketch.
Yeah.
I got up and yelled about cancel culture or something
And the camera is extremely shaky, only for your part.
because I'm just yelling so passionately.
Yeah, but also it's like tilted. Like whoever was holding it was just like, oh, I'm gonna take this time
Yeah.
to like not pay attention. So it's like,
Yeah, fucked. And I remember we got like Jonah's like hitting my Jewel at the time Jonah was like very staunch. Like he was straight
didn't
edge.
swear. He still
Yeah.
doesn't like vape, but
Right.
and now he swears.
Yeah,
at
which
his
is awesome.
At Jonah's honors thing,
awesome.
he said fuck,
It was
and his
awesome.
moms were like, Jonah, and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah.
He's
I was
such
like,
an just an
"Attaboy."
awesome guy. But it was awesome handing him this vape and making him. I mean, not making him vape, but
He had to like breathe.
the
like,
script
mouth
called
hit
for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he
And
was
he's wearing
a huge
a
parka.
with
Yeah,
the-
he was a frat boy. We cast him as a frat boy, which like was impossible to make Jonah look like that. But we also had Rob Dorsey was in your pod with you and Madeline. That
You
might
guys
be
going to ED Sci tonight?
that might be my favorite moment in the fucking sketch where like you want a drink and Madeline's like catch up and it's just and then Rob's
I'm
just
gonna
like
black. I think that was your line.
I don't remember this at all. Like I
don't
remember
remember this?
being there. I just don't remember any of the
oh
lines.
my god. Well, so we because like a big one of the hooks of the sketch was like one of the people that you run into Greek life people so much. There's like I mean I guess now we know a couple Greek life people in film that could or people that could at least pass for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking of a Rex Rubenstein could play that role to perfection, but at the time
Yeah.
there was nobody in Breach of Peace that could like convincingly play like a frat guy
Yeah.
or like a srat girl.
And we didn't know anybody else.
No,
I only knew
the people
I
in
only
that
knew the
room.
bot people
Yeah,
and like
I knew my cousin.
the people. Yeah,
I could get Shane to come play it.
yeah, and like the people that were in 150. I didn't know any people, and
Right.
the people above. Like I wasn't in Imagination yet.
Right.
We talked about Imagination a little bit, but I didn't know anyone in the like above us. I feel like, especially post COVID, there's been a lot more of a connection between like the upperclassmen and the lowerclassmen.
Yeah,
When we were freshmen, did you know any before you
I
entered
knew
a club
I knew
that
I knew
had-
Ariel and Inesh, but I
Yeah.
wasn't friends with them.
but they were sophomores.
I just knew
Yeah.
them. Oh, it's like upperclassmen.
Yeah,
No.
I'm talking about like the scene. Like
Nope.
I feel like I knew a lot of freshmen this year.
I knew Vanessa Litchard, and I only knew people from Wolf TV. I didn't know there was no mingling. That's why we'll get to Image in a second, but that's why I think Image is so awesome.
Image is very awesome, and we left the group chat yesterday. And I was
sad.
gonna hold it out for the summer, bro. But then you had to go and like trailblaze the leaving. I was like, fuck. I guess
It just
I
felt
gotta
like time.
leave. Yeah. Rip the group chat though. The
iMessage chat.
Best group chat I've ever been in. I think hands down.
Rip that.
Always going off. There was like
Rip that
100
group chat.
messages. Anyway, one question about your dad about Scott Dempsey, real quick.
Let's throw it back to Scott.
I just want to get this out of the way. Wait, can we talk about zoning real quick? I really want to talk about zoning.
Let's talk about the latest proposed legislation at the village level.
Yeah, we're talking about city council meetings.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. So anyway, so
Let's get the fuck out of here, man.
yeah,
Let's
we
pull
go.
a shoot
We
on
love.
this.
We love up north. We love northern Michigan. We love Michigan. We love the University of Michigan. So we worked on College
Michigan.
Geographic, right? We got that out of the way.
Nice.
And then
Then we.
did we make another sketch proper before COVID? Breach of Peace sketch. We did. Were you involved in the sandwich prank?
No, I was not. But one thing I wrote for Breach of
Great
Peace
sketch.
was an outline of what would become.
That's right. I remember you pitching
Capiche.
this.
I made a short film sophomore year called Capiche, but I wrote it freshman year, an outline, and it began with Breach of Peace, and I was going to make it for Bop, and then Bop went under because
Yeah.
of COVID.
So COVID hits,
COVID hits, we're all fucked because
Nobody
I
knows
didn't
what to
meet
do.
that many people.
and the thing, like
And-
Brendan, who I
Brendan Dooley.
admire greatly and
Love Brendan Dooley.
already had one.
Can we get a clap for Brendan Dooley?
I
Yeah.
hope he listens.
Me too.
He already was kind of 1 foot out that he was very big into Midnight Book Club, and I think he
Yes.
did a large part in kind of elevating them. He was kind of out of Breach of Peace. Julian was graduating, going to law school, and Justin had just shipped off to Spain to study abroad, which left
Justin-
Feinberg, which left 0 producers for the show. So I applied to be an associate producer along with Zachary Groveman.
Zach Groveman was the guy in the Joe's Pizza thing.
Absolutely.
That's the funniest thing that Bop ever made.
Probably the funniest thing that Bopper made. Shout out Zach Groveman. I don't know what he's doing right now, but
Is that even his last name? His real last name?
I believe I'm 99% sure that it's
Zach,
Zach.
wherever you are, you know who you are. We love you.
So we come up and we start running Breach of Peace, not knowing what the fuck we're doing. COVID hits. We have even less of a fuck knowing what we're doing. And then there's this weird thing sophomore year where Wolf TV is completely online. So so our writers' rooms used to be in the green room at the basement of North Quad, where everyone would come in and we'd shout out ideas and write them on a whiteboard or whatever. Now
Yeah.
everyone was coming into a Zoom room. And I would just kind
You
of,
guys had meetings?
dude, you didn't come to any of the Zoom writers' rooms?
No.
Oh my
no,
god!
I had
so
no
there were
idea.
probably like 4 or 5 Breach of Peace writers' rooms where like 15 people would show up on Zoom,
Were you there?
and we'd throw around.
Okay, yeah.
No, I don't think any of the it was
Yeah.
so we got Einesh back.
That guy fucking sucks.
He was carrying a lot of the weight.
Try hard.
Zach, I couldn't even get Zach to show. I mean, Zach had everybody had stuff going on. It
Yeah.
was like, and this is going nowhere. So I was like
Yeah.
frustrated that I couldn't, but I fucking saw the writing on the wall. There were a lot of new people coming in with funny ideas. I had no way to fucking support them. We made one sketch we made 2 sketches. The first one was written by a guy that's very, very funny. Oh, I don't remember his name. Josh Savitz.
Yeah,
Remember
hey,
Josh
Josh
Savitz?
Savitz wrote the first time I worked with Justin Levine. I was an associate producer for M-Edge on Justin Savitz's You Should
Josh
Watch
Savitz?
Ozark.
Nice.
Did I say
You said
different
Justin
name?
Savitz.
Jesus. Josh.
We're doing
Josh
a lot of
Savitz.
credit to our former
Dude, there's
colleagues.
a lot of Jewish J names, bro. Me included.
That's
like,
very, very true.
yeah.
Between Jake, Jesse, Justin, Josh.
and they're all the same 4 names. Like
And they
Josh,
all-
Justin,
and
Josh,
they're all
Justin,
little
Zach,
Jewish comedy writers.
Zach, Adam,
Hunter.
Eli. Yeah,
Um,
Hunter. Yeah.
Josh wrote this sketch that I thought was fucking awesome. That was about like a high school teacher in COVID. So he played the teacher running a Zoom classroom, and it slowly became clear that the teacher had just gotten a sponsorship with Audio Technica microphones and audio equipment. So like he's asking for answers, and then after every answer, he's like plugging like Audio Technica microphones, and it was like a really funny sketch, and for the time was like perfect. So we made this,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, you cracked the code of Zoom sketches. This is great.
Yeah.
For Breach of Peace, metrics, it did fairly well. And then Josh was like, dude, I can't do this anymore. Like, come on. And
I need
was
to
like,
see
I understand.
that.
I think that one's still posted somewhere.
Okay.
And that one's very funny.
We have like
and then,
40 subscribers on the YouTube channel. It's
then
desolate.
the Instagram, I think it's on the Instagram. And then the ultimate breach of which is kind of ironic now. It was R.I.P. Quibi. It was a Quibi tribute video.
I was in that.
Yeah, I think I reached because I wrote that one, which was me just asking everyone to to give like a tearful tribute to Quibi, which had just died after like a week of being operational, which was a fine sketch. And I think it's kind of ironic now that the sketch that ultimately killed us was like, oh, look at Quibi, they fucking died.
I swear, like 100% true. I watched my submission to that 2 days ago.
Nice.
When I was, they're about to get rid of our Google Drives.
Transferring your footage.
I was looking at all these obscure freshman year videos, and I was like, what is this? And I'm crying and talking about Quibi, and I'm like, oh, I remember this, but I forgot what it was for. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like it was a basic setup. It was Sarah McLachlan in the eyes of the angels. You know, literally it was that, and then it was a news report in black and white being like, Quibi has just shut down after 1 week, and then it was like a clip of a Quibi show, and then it was us.
Jeffrey Katzenberg is an idiot. Dude, I know I'm trying to enter the industry, and he's like huge, but like, I don't even care. I'll face the backlash. Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Deal with the Katzenberg backlash.
Jeffrey Katzenberg helped create DreamWorks, and he ran Disney into the ground. I forgot how.
They're doing really poorly right now.
Yeah, Disney. Yeah,
Disney's really
no, not Disney now. Not Lin-Manuel Miranda Disney. Let's face it. He's the real CEO. I know they brought Bob Iger back, but
is Lin-Manuel kind of a shadow executive?
Let's think about what Lin-Manuel Miranda has worked on. He got Hamilton on Disney Plus. He worked on Encanto. He worked on The Little Mermaid that just came out.
Moana,
huge for Moana. And then he did
Did he do Luca? Did he do anything on Luca?
No. Oh, Mary Poppins Returns. He produced and was in it. I think he produced it, but he was definitely in it, and he wrote songs for it. Lin-Manuel Miranda has Disney on his back.
Yeah. Are you pro Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I am.
Have you seen Hamilton?
I have. I saw it at the Fisher Theater.
Nice.
And we were at the way back, and I couldn't hear anything they were saying because of the echo. It has a great acoustics in there, but we were just like the nosebleeds. Yeah.
I saw it in Chicago, and
if I can prove that I never touched my balls, will you promise not to tell another soul what you saw?
Okay, I'm not a big musical theater. I don't like musical theater.
I love theater. I did one high school. I was not a theater kid, but I was an honorary theater kid because after I got into Michigan, I had a lot more free time, and I auditioned for my senior year musical called Disaster, and I got one of the lead roles as the villain, Tony Del Vecchio, who was played in the Broadway show by Roger Bart, who sings the young version of Hercules in I Can Go the Distance. I am on my way. I can go the distance. And he also was in The Producers as the flamboyantly gay guy. I forgot his name.
That's the Mel Brooks one, right?
Yeah, the 2005 one with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane, not the original one. Anyway, great show, and so I'm a huge musical theater fan. I love it. I need to watch more shows.
Well, I'm not.
All right, thanks for having me on.
I'm a big rap fan, and
really, do you like basketball too?
We try not to talk about it too much on the show.
Well, I see like a peak of Kobe hanging behind your hammer and sickle flag and your anti-Ukraine flag. But
if I had those things, Kobe would be much more prominent than the other ones. So how about that? How about you chew on that?
What do you mean if?
All right. Yeah. You know what? I don't even want to make a point about Hamilton anymore. I want to move on.
So you don't like musical theater? Got it. Wait, what was your point about Hamilton?
I really like rap music. And I think Lin-Manuel Miranda is a person who's incredibly musically talented, obviously, and knows how to make a rap song.
Yes,
technically, but I don't find his rapping engaging at all.
His flow isn't ill.
Come on, man. We might have to cut all of this because it's just a white guy talking about hip hop and why Lin-Manuel Miranda maybe shouldn't.
Quick, throw some Eminem in there so that we can.
Me, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
let's move. Let's skip
I don't even
COVID.
know what
I
we're
don't want to
talking
talk about COVID because everyone was
COVID. Blah. We did stuff.
We
we did make stuff during COVID though. Capiche was made during COVID.
Capiche,
It started
yeah,
with Bob.
summer
I'm very proud of Capiche. That was a fun time. You did not work on that with me, but
I am credited as special thanks because I was
yes,
the producer that you pitched it to.
yes.
Well, it was brought up the first time in the original Reach a Peace meeting, and then it was like we don't have the means to make this right now.
We
focused
didn't
on
even have
other
the
ones.
means to make the shit we did make.
Right. And then you did come to at least one Zoom writers room because you pitched Big Muggsy to me in there.
You're right.
Definitely did.
No, you're right, and that's how I got on the Quippy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So yeah, that was Vic Muggsy. And,
pitch Capiche to these people
that
so they can
came
go
out.
watch it because
We
Capiche
made
is
it.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Capiche. Capiche is a story about a 1940s cartoon gangster in real life called Vic Muggsy, who's lactose intolerant but doesn't want to admit it, and his henchman, whose name is Cheeks.
And give us a taste of Vic Muggsy voice.
Oh yeah, so he sounds like Mo Howard from the Three Stooges, but like I can't go as deep as Mo. So he's like this. He's like his henchman's like. Boss, like you didn't even eat that chicken I got you earlier, but now you're not eating this cheesecake, and you said you were hungry. You're not full. You're empty. And he's like, it ain't the cow juice. It ain't the cow juice that's taking me off, Buster. It's you. I'm more of a cake guy. I don't like ice cream. He tries to feed him dairy products, and
It's so and what I like to think that I recognized in your comedic engine is like the endless impressions and energy. Like when you first did Vic Muggsy voice complaining about like your stomach grumbling because of a fucking chicken parm, I was like, that sketch could be 30 seconds or 10 minutes.
That sketch should have been like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, it was probably too long, but it was like it was a funny enough character. And I'm doing this not to stroke your ego, but because I want to.
Well, you're stroking something else under the table right now.
Come on, man. It's my dog.
Trevor's
What I
right
wanted to parlay this into was I wanted you to just fucking. I want to do a new segment.
Oh, new segment.
A new segment on the show. What do I have for a new segment on the show here? New segment.
Hey, it's a new segment.
And it's called Jake's Impressions.
Oh, no.
One thing that I would always ask you to do in writers' rooms whenever it got brought up, whenever it got tangentially brought up, because you're a big cartoon fan.
I'm a big cartoon fan.
You were a Saturday.
I love cartoons.
You were a Saturday morning boy.
I was a Saturday morning boy. I watched a lot of TV. I was an indoor kid.
And yeah. And whenever SpongeBob would get brought up, I'd look at you and I
hate SpongeBob.
Jake, give him a little taste.
What kind of flavor are you looking for?
I want to hear
Mr. Davidson?
I want to hear Plankton. I want to hear Plankton talking about the recipe.
You mean Sheldon J. Plankton talking about the Krabby Patty secret formula?
Yes, dude. No.
because I can talk.
All of those.
I loved it. They
so
fucking loved it.
All of those sounds are better than the sounds that we had on Michigan Time.
I know, dude.
Okay, but
Yeah,
Do you want to hit us with?
I can do Sheldon J. Plankton forever. He's a great voice. I love. He's got a computer wife named Karen.
He's my favorite. You do.
He's my favorite that I do too.
And then hit me with what's your favorite Looney Tunes?
Oh, it's gotta be Bugs Bunny, Doc. Me, what's up, Doc? We're here on the Hunter Davidson Radio Hour, and shout out that. I was in Space Jam with Michael Jordan, and I was also in Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, with LeBron James.
Bugs, which did you like more, Space Jam 1 or Space Jam 2?
Well, I'm a big fan of Al G. Rhythm.
Oh, no.
So I gotta say Space Jam 1. Does he have big, great, long ears like this? And does he hop around on all fours like this?
Yeah.
And does he say, "What's up, Doc?" like this? Me, what's up, Doc?
Yeah.
Nope, never heard of him.
Which, of course, if you've seen Space Jam 2, is a very legendary line.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you LeBron James?
it's the best line in that whole movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We don't have to go on the impressions too much longer. I just we had to showcase that.
Have you watched Phineas and Ferb?
Yep. Of course.
Do one your favorite?
Can you hit us with any?
Oh, dude.
Can you do?
I've never-
Oh, wait.
Doctor
I
Who?
can try to do Major Monogram.
Agent P.
Nice. No, that's pretty good.
Good morning, Agent P. It's Doofenshmirtz again. Hey, Carl.
Yeah.
I can't.
The agent was pretty good.
Yeah, I love Phineas and Ferb. But I'll do a quick rapid fire. But
Yeah.
My main ones.
Duck season. Rabbit sleeping. You're despicable. Yeah, that's all, folks.
Shh, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits. Oh my God, you guys.
Oh no!
It's such a pleasure to be on here on the Hunter Davidson Radio Hour.
Oh,
hey,
no.
Brian. Brian. Yeah, you know what a good voice sounds like. Yeah, Cool Whip.
Oh no!
Yeah, hey, you guys. You know, this morning we were watching the movie Ted. My father and I, and I was like, hey, Ted's voice sounds very similar to Peter Griffin, but it's not quite there because I don't know. It's just
What's the difference?
different.
Yeah.
I think Ted's a little deeper down here, and he's more like, hey Johnny, I'm sorry, okay? Like
We're gonna go
don't-
jerk off Tom Brady.
I'm gonna go jerk off Tom Brady, and this is Chantel and Sauvignon Blanc, and they're hookers. So yeah.
Oh,
So there's that and many more. I won't.
Wow, dude.
I won't do. Oh wait,
think-
wait. There is a. I mean, I can do.
Hey, everybody, it's me, SpongeBob SquarePants, and
Classic.
yeah, bye.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that's it. Done.
Dude,
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
very impressive.
Thanks, Katie.
That'll definitely be clipped. We'll definitely make that a clip. It'll be a clip.
Social clip.
It'll be a clip for Instagram, Twitter. It'll be a clip. All right, dude,
yeah.
that was awesome.
Big cartoon fan.
And I think we started. How did it come about that we really? Because I felt like I don't want to skip too much time, but it felt like going into Terry's sketch class. By that point, we were kind of tight.
We were tight.
But what happened there? Because it was just COVID between that.
What? Like it had to have been sophomore. We didn't really do stuff sophomore year.
We weren't making stuff, and
We
we
didn't make
weren't
stuff, we
really hanging out. Maybe once or twice.
I didn't hang out. I barely hung out with anybody.
Yeah.
I was so scared of getting COVID. I did not want COVID until the vaccine came out. I was just like inside all the time because the sets that I was on, you had to be COVID free, and I wanted to be on set, and so I was like, no, I have to be on set. Like I can't do anything. Terrible way to live. Would not recommend. But yeah, we were tight, and I think part of it was that during BOP, I found out that you were cousins with the Huntington Woods Davidsons, which consist of Seth Davidson, Brett Big Boy Davidson, and Lacey Davidson, and that is in age order from youngest to oldest.
Love them
I'm in
dearly.
the middle. I'm in the middle of Lacey and Brett.
Yes, So yeah, because so you knew them because you were classmates with them, but
Yes,
we were
yes.
because I'm in the middle of them and we're the same age. So you were in the middle of so it was never necessarily always we hadn't met each other because you weren't totally in the same circles
No,
of
we
either
did-
of them.
Yeah,
but
we
you
didn't go
knew.
to the same mitzvahs.
And that
Because
kind of
I'm like, I know them.
right.
We're not besties.
Right.
But I was in Brett Davidson's fitness club in high school. Yeah.
Current bodybuilder,
Dude,
preparing
he's
for competition.
Jesus.
Seth, I want to shout out all-state goalie for Berkeley High School.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Congrats,
doing really well.
Seth.
And
Is he-
Lacey is a graduate out working as a young professional.
Where is Lacey?
She was in Chicago, and now I believe she's coming back home. Little homecoming tour.
Ooh. Little victory lap.
But I do think you're right. I do think that once I learned that, it was just like, oh, holy fucking shit, like the homie. And then
Yeah, you said that. I was like, oh, bro, what? Yeah. But yeah, we were tight going
And
to
then-
Terry's
and then-
sketch class.
and then-
I think Terry's sketch class is when we became.
I think you're
Toit.
right. I think you're right
Yeah.
because 403, the best class that I
Ever.
took here, the best class I've taken anywhere.
Yeah.
A pinnacle of what I think college film school should be, which was like
Go make stuff.
it was just freedom.
It was go.
And Terry was
Unless it was like really bad, like, and some stuff we made and then it got cut after it was finished. Not we,
right.
But
Well, let's
I will not
okay.
name.
So we started.
We know
s-
what I'm talking
we
about.
started.
Yeah.
We kind of because we weren't neighbors, but we lived very close to each other. So we would walk to class together on Friday mornings, and that kind of was the genesis of like becoming de facto writing partners, bouncing stuff off each other. I remember early
Very
on.
bouncy.
It was it was mostly stuff off of your big list of dreams turned into possible ideas that we would try to flesh shit out of.
My mom found a note that I made in 2013, which was titled "Movie Ideas," and there was like 50 bullet points. No, like log lines.
Yeah.
These are just like words.
Literal word association.
So, can I say it?
Please.
The best one. I don't know what number it was. Some of these are like, you get what's like what it's supposed to be.
Like you can understand what it is from the title.
One of them was like the bruschetta stone. I saw the Rosetta Stone commercials endlessly on like Nick Cartoon Network and Disney Channel. And I was like, okay, it's like bruschetta, the Italian snack.
The bread.
Yeah, so it's just a stone that teaches you how to make bruschetta.
Yeah. And we
had an idea.
We
about
fleshed
that
that out
wrote it.
into an Indiana Jones parody
Yeah.
that I actually loved, that I thought was like very funny.
Yeah.
Where like
We
his
should make it.
sidekick was like a Gen Z TikToker. And it didn't get it got shot down by the other crack team of writers in the room.
Yeah.
But I liked it. But then it was also
Okay, but
do you remember
Wait, I gotta say the best one. The best one on my list, it was just called Giant.
Yes.
In all caps.
Giant.
No explanation.
Giant. No log line, no
Nothing.
Because you told that to me and I said, okay, it's like Big starring Tom Cruise.
Dude.
And you said no.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
If Tom Cruise had been in Big, it would have been a very different movie.
But I remember saying that,
yeah.
and you looked at me and you said, no, it's not. I said, what do you mean? It's nothing. It's just the word giant. And you were like, oh, well, it's not
I was
that.
like, no, because I didn't know what that thing was like 9 years old when we made. Yeah. Anyway, so there was that. Best class I've ever taken.
Yeah, so
Loved
we
the
got
team.
to-
We were not like there were little friend.
It
pods.
clicked off kind of quick.
Yeah, we bonded very quickly.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I think we became even closer after the class had ended.
Absolutely.
Arguably.
Well, okay, because I just want to touch on the other work we did in that class. Because you were pretty prolific in your writing in that class. You got Eulogy, and what were the other ones that you wrote? that got
Eulogy,
accepted?
we wrote Blap. We'll talk about that in a
Well,
second.
yeah, Blap I was gonna get to.
I wrote Toot, which is about a guy
that works
who
at
toots
Google.
his own horn. He grows a horn out of his head and then he toots it. And then I wrote
Was the mayor you?
the mayor one, the grand opening, which is about the opening of a children's hospital, but the mayor can't cut the ribbon with the giant scissors, so she's just like, okay, it's a bust, tear it down.
Yeah.
The new building.
Which was great.
I love that
those
one.
were my favorite. Were the 60-second ones that were just like set up punchline based.
Yeah.
It was just a joke.
Like low carb burrito.
Low carb burrito. I love so Inesh and Ariel and Andrew Armstrong.
Yeah, they were in it.
And Ryan Duggan were also
going
pretty prolific in terms of writing sketches that got passed. You wrote like 2 or 3 others that passed the first stage of like getting shot down.
Yeah,
which I never
some
got past.
Some I just like got approved and we just didn't make them.
Right.
I think
we didn't have time.
Yeah, we didn't have time. I think
non-stick toilet.
Did Rosebud get picked? I think Rosebud got accepted.
Rosebud got greenlit.
But we didn't make it. But then I made it right after that.
Greenlit.
And we made that was
and then the one I pitched
Katie's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
I pitched a sketch called Slam Elevator, which was about
bro, just
2
drop
guys
it already.
that get into an elevator and the elevator attendants really into slam poetry.
That sounds awesome.
It is very funny.
It didn't go anywhere. But then we co-wrote a sketch. I don't know if it was off your big list, but
no, we were walking home.
And you
I remember
said,
it because we were at State and Hill.
Yeah.
We were crossing the street, and I was like, how do like slang words come about? Is there like a secret council wearing hoods in a basement that just like that comes up with them and votes on them and puts them through trials?
And we looked at each other and we were like, all right, well,
we're right.
We gotta write
So we
that.
wrote it.
And it got greenlit. People liked it.
Greenlit. We spent a ton of money.
Spent about $200, which
God.
for a
that-
student sketch was
lot.
way more than you should have spent.
Do you still have all the shit?
Yeah, it's all in the back of my. No, the robes I gave to the prop shop.
Oh,
At the
great.
school. Those are in that room down there.
Oh, good. Okay,
I
I'm
still
glad
have
those got used.
I have the gavel. I have the gavel and the champagne flutes.
Do you have any RC Cola left?
I think I tried to pawn that off to somebody. I don't have it on my person. We ordered. There was a joke that called for RC Cola and champagne flutes.
Oh, I forgot about the real reason why we cut it until just now.
Well, that's the thing. So the
2 reasons why it never came out.
Yeah, and I think we should talk about this candidly, because we ultimately made the right decision.
Yes, agreed, 100%. One, we shot it horrible. I don't know what happened.
Well, you had food poisoning on set.
I had food poisoning on set,
and we were shooting it in the basement of your frat house.
Yeah, but we also just didn't have we had a shot list, but none of the shit cut together. Like, I started editing it, and it would not. It's never happened to me before or since.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I wasn't just like lazy and didn't edit it. It did not.
We tried. We pat you because you tried to do a pass on it. Then I tried to do a pass on it.
Then
Inesh wanted it to work so bad that he tried to do a pass. And then when he couldn't get it, he gave it to his little brother who tried to do a pass. Animesh tried to do a pass and he couldn't get it. So at that point, we were like, "Well, this is fucked." But
like continuity, framing, I don't know. I thought the script was really funny. So
yeah, do you want to?
So that's reason one. Like, it just wasn't good. Like
the sketch revolved around the secret society that adopted slang words into the mainstream, which funny. And
I think it was funny.
The way
I think a lot
that
of
they
it was funny.
did that was by a proposed word must undergo the trial of the 3 rigors.
Yes.
3 rigors. And
there's 3. So that
and
is,
it was like one of them was the sound effect test.
That's the last one. What were the first
remember.
2? I don't know either.
Clearly, it wasn't great. Oh, one of them was if your mom says it, does it sound bad?
Yes.
And if it does, then it's a good slang word.
It can't say cool when it can't sound cool when a parent says it.
Which I still think is a funny idea.
So Terry comes in and she says it, and I like puke because it's so bad.
Instantly.
And Hunter's like, it's passed.
Yeah,
it's passed.
it's awesome. And
is so good,
the
by the
first
way.
trial is the preliminary one. Where it's the weeding out. Doesn't matter. The third one, sound effect test. So the word that they're trying to get into public consumption is blap.
Blap.
Which is a nonsense, meaningless word.
Blap.
But when it undergoes the trial of the 3 rigors and when it reaches the sound effect test, one of the members of the council realizes that when used as a sound effect, it kind of sounds like an ad lib in a rap song. Am I right? Blap, 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 blap. So everyone's going blap, blap, blap.
He goes,
and they're being,
it sounds like a gun, but he's smiling. And
so
everyone starts going blap, blap, and they're like
passes,
making finger guns. Yeah.
And it passes, which in a vacuum, I think is, just a commentary on the culture that we live in. But in the context of the real world that we do live in, which is obviously the most important, the Oxford school shooting coincided literally the day after we wrapped production on that sketch. That happened. And
if it wasn't the day after, it was like I don't want to like misquote.
Fuck up the timeline.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck up the timeline because that was very important. It was very soon after. It might have been the day after. Yeah.
It definitely happened when we were reviewing
yeah.
Maybe it was a little after because we were reviewing the footage
Yeah.
and realizing it might not work. And then this was just like, it was
Yeah.
so close to our community and
very
it was
close. Oxford,
so
Michigan.
tragic.
Yeah.
And I think the devil's advocate for keeping the sketch was, it's dark, but it's like, oh, we're going to have another one of these mass shootings like next week or the week after or
It also
sooner.
just didn't work. We couldn't cut the 3rd rigor because
It just
we'd have to
It
dub
wasn't
it like
working.
it wouldn't. We already shot it. Like it didn't. So we tabled it.
We had
I think
we
made
had
the right
a
decision.
conversation with Terry, and it was mostly with Terry, but the class was there as well. And we were just like, I think we can't release the sketch right now, which was a bummer to me because it at the time was the only one that I had a writing credit on. So I was bummed, and I was bummed that it wasn't working, but I do think we made the right choice.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
ultimately, I'm really happy with how the show as a whole came together. I thought
Me too.
And not only did we get close, and did we make new friends with people that we weren't sure even fucking tolerated us in the beginning, and we found out later.
Shout out Laura Grady.
we love Laura Grady now, and we consider her a friend of the show, even though at the time I couldn't tell if she fucking hated my guts. But it was great, and also
I need to text. I need to hit Laura up.
Yeah.
Not Laura. Excuse me, Laura.
Over the course of the show, I'm like, holy shit, I gotta hit up Josh Savitz. I gotta fucking hit up Julian Poza. I gotta hit up, which is why I like doing this show.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I also kind of we got close. Ariel Einish, Mary 2, and Priya, and then we started hanging out a lot with them.
We did.
After
which was doomed because then they left.
Right, and then we were like, oh, we have no friends again.
Yeah.
We were back to being alone.
No, for real.
But so okay, we're running a little long, so I'm trying to face just a little bit.
Yeah.
We make Rosebud, which was awesome. Where I also met Claire Colazar for the first time, and
Shout out
Leia
Claire.
Greenspan for the first time, and the first time that
Shout
I
out
worked
Leah.
with Mackenzie Mollison.
The wonderful and hugely insanely talented Mackenzie
Like
Mollison.
mind-blowingly.
Singer, actor.
Yeah, if you want to talk about multi-hyphenate, dude, quadruple threat, Mackenzie
I
Mollison.
don't think Mackenzie dances, but
But
Mackenzie can do everything else, man.
And I got to play her brother in that sketch, which was funny to me because Mackenzie is like 6'1" and just so clearly not related to me at all. But it was a lot of fun. Mitchell Sally, shout out Mitchell Sally. First
Mitchell
time I met
Sally.
him. My first time working on set with Jesse Krugel.
Okay, you want to talk about a guy that I fucking hate?
Yeah, let it rip.
Can we get a boo? Can
Yeah,
we get
yeah.
all the bad sounds?
Oh, sorry.
I hope that his episode of this podcast doesn't air.
Whoa! It will.
Damn it.
I can go back and make some edits to make him look a lot worse. Though.
Yeah, please. Well, that's not really too hard. He already looks really bad. No, I love Jesse Krugel. He's like one of my favorite people on the planet.
Awesome energy.
Yeah.
Rosebud was great.
Rosebud was great.
Anything
I
you
think
want
it
to say
turned out
about
really
Rosebud?
well. I learned a lot about directing with Rosebud because like it was very fast. We shot it on daylight savings night where
we
it
watched the
sprung
clock.
forward.
Yeah, we
it went
watched
from 1:59 to 3, and then we wrapped at like 4. And that was a very long shoot. And I broke a
Snow globe.
shout out to
The
Mitchell
titular
Sally's
snow
aunt and
globe.
uncle.
Yeah, literally.
We broke a mercury thermometer
That's what it was.
in their bedroom.
And I got in big trouble for vaping on that
Oops.
set. I got yelled at for
Yeah,
vaping like
you
twice.
did. Anyway, I liked it. I think that I definitely learned a lot and about how to like direct people when you're short on time and stuff. And Ariel was there, and we had a good time. It was a good time. Oh, and shout out Jake Moss.
Jake Moss.
It's
For
Jake
real,
Moss.
shout out Jake Moss.
So we did that. That came out. That turned out well.
And this and that is was that second semester junior year?
Second semester junior year. So we've had the show premiered. It was great.
That was awesome.
Open Summit Global premiered. Then we had. I gotta shout out Lucas Jackson too because we haven't said his name yet. But yeah. And then and Ben was in that class. Ben Serta, who we have not said his name yet.
Say it again.
Ben.
We don't say his name on the show. We bleep out the I need to be held guys.
Okay, so
okay, then the summer hits and and you were involved in Blood Relatives.
I was. I need to see. Have you seen?
Not
it?
done yet. I saw a rough cut. Ariel was making the finishing touches. That was an Ariel written and directed piece.
Yes.
Which
with
was fun to
Mary
make.
Nearhouse and Hunter Davidson. Shout out Mary Nearhouse.
That was
by the way. Shout out Mary
our
too.
yeah. We got Mary 2. We got to make we did a sketch for Open Summit Global Elote together, which was one of my favorite sets that I was on.
Oh, shout out Nick Swihart.
Oh my God! Shout out Nick Swihart.
He literally gave his was it his left nut?
I think he gave his left nut.
He gave
for
his
OSG.
left nut for that club. For that class.
We love that guy. And
Yeah.
he wrote, if you guys want to go watch some funny student-made sketches, Nicholas Swihart wrote and directed Catchphrase, which I think is like one of the most underappreciated sketches from that. Like
I loved it.
It doesn't get talked about too much, but like so funny.
Yeah.
And one of the best like camera reveals like that I've seen. like they cut to Ben in the sweater at the end. Oh my God.
Oh my god. And then you cry for like in 27 seconds.
Dude,
Hunter cried in like every sketch.
I don't know what it is about
and
me.
in Rosebud.
People find me being emotionally vulnerable like the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, especially because you are like actually really boring and like you're stoic.
I'm
and
not
you
an.
show,
I'm
you don't
a.
show
I'm
emotion.
a. I'm a. What did they say? What does Tony Soprano say? What happened to the not Humphrey Bogart types? What happened to the strong?
The strong
type?
silent type.
The Clark Gable something.
Yeah.
That's me basically.
Yeah.
No, but there was one sketch. I don't remember the first sketch that it was where it was like it was America's Shortest Shafts.
Great sketch.
Great sketch. Where it was
We
the first
kissed.
sketch. We kiss. It's a famous frame, and that was the first one that called for me to cry. Like it ends on me crying.
Yeah.
And
Everything ends on
long
you.
take, 15 seconds of me sobbing, and like apparently people find it very funny, and so I'm called for to do that in I think 4 sketches that year. Just cry.
You cry in Rosebud. You cried in.
Catchphrase and America's Shortest
yeah.
Shafts, and there's at least one other one where I
it's
cry.
Probably somewhere around there. So we did that. Now it's second semester junior year. We're in person in class again.
It's coming back.
Did we have a class that semester? I don't think we did.
Nope.
But
I wasn't really taking production classes. I was taking writing classes.
Yeah. Then senior year happens. And we were in.
Well, so you at the time are tapped to be DP on Jonah's thesis.
I was scheduled to be the director of photography on Jonah Subcheck's senior thesis called I Miss and Love You, which I was also doing an independent study with 16 millimeter film, and I wanted to shoot part of his thing on 16 millimeter to kind of be a 2 birds, 1 stone project where I got credit, he got credit, and everyone won.
Everyone helps each other.
So we shot the film part, and then his thing got pushed back to a point where I was unavailable. So
And then
my availability opened up.
yeah, so in the meantime, I'm realizing, much like you said earlier, the friends that I've been hanging out with for the last year are gone, and I don't really have any I don't know Wolf TV's effectively dead. I know a lot of the MH people at this point, but I've never been in the club. I've never been really involved in the club. I'd come on to help.
Yeah, you were Imag adjacent.
Yeah,
Imagination Films is a student-run production company at the University of Michigan, and they make short films. They make about 8 short films a semester, so 16 per year. And then at the end of the year, they show them at the Michigan Theater Big Film Festival. It's super fun, great group.
It's
of people.
awesome. It's so cool. And so at the time they're looking at their fucking numbers and they're like, okay, well, we lost 4 senior. We lost Lucas, Laura, Ariel and Inash weren't in MH, but they submitted a lot of scripts. They lost them. Justin and weren't going to be available because they were making season 2 of I Need to Be Held. Jonah's gone.
Andrew's
You're gone.
No,
Andrew
gone.
Armstrong is gone.
Yeah.
So they're down 9 bodies. I show up to this mass meeting and they're like, you should probably try to produce MH short films. And
Yeah,
I'm
we were like, oh yeah,
"Nah,
dude,
fuck,
come on.
Did I get to
here."
kind of skip a fucking couple steps on the ladder? I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. So I get brought on the MH. I get assigned the great, the lovely
Kevin Alfaro Ortiz.
and what a guy he is. And I'm shooting to get a 2 guest episode so I can get Kevin and Rachel on because I think that would be because it was kind of
cute.
So I'm assigned head producer for Kevin's short film Left Behind, a 10-minute thriller,
Which we rewrote uncredited. Not many people know that. I just want to say we did spend 4 straight hours at the MLB one night, just completely changing it.
So
Still Kevin's movie, but that was a fun time.
Yeah, so I'm brought, and I have limited experience producing things. The one time that I had been brought on as a head producer was Breach of Peace, which, as we've covered on this show, quickly shot up in flames as soon as I took it over. As soon as I grabbed the reins, it crashed and burned. Claire Colazar is my associate producer, who's awesome. Couldn't have made anything I made in the last year without her. But at the time, she's never really been in the producer setting either. And writer-director Kevin is the other associate producer. So there's 3 people producing this film that
All associate
effectively
producers.
had... What?
Weren't you technically an associate producer because you had just been brought on?
I had been amply amply promoted to head producer at the first mass meeting.
Oh,
Because they didn't have enough head producers. Yeah, you still were considered out of commission
at this
the time.
point. I was out. I'd taken time off of MH to do Jonah's thing.
Right. So I'm looking around like, I don't want the first thing I make here to be absolutely a garbage fire, especially because it's Kevin's first script that he's done ever. So I reach out to Jake, who I know has been running into some obstacles with scheduling with the other project, and he's able to come on board for this one. And yes, Kevin... I don't have a problem with Kevin not crediting me on the rewrite. I have a problem,
neither.
and I would grab it.
I have a huge problem with
Kevin
this.
designed the poster for the thing, and he literally put all the producers' names in like 4-point font on the bottom.
we have the like on a phone, which is where most people see this. You can't read it, but even on the 11 by 17 posters of this, you still can't read it.
Which
like,
is
it's
really
so
funny
small.
to me because like Kevin is the nicest guy and showed so much appreciation to us for coming on to help that it literally...
dude, he paid us so much money under the table. Wait, did he not pay you?
No.
Oh shit, no.
It just was like...
I think he did it as a joke.
It was like it was just so funny to me that he like was like Claire Hunter Jake like an afterthought. I'm not mad about it. I just think it's funny.
But created by Kevin is big and center.
It's just awesome. And I was just like, man, the kid's, he's got moxie. He's got what it takes.
He's got chutzpah.
He's got chutzpah. And if I bring, dude, have you seen quick sidetrack? I saw a clip of a news reporter. No, oh fuck. I just watched the Jared Fogle documentary, and I don't remember if it was from that or if it was from a different thing that I was watching.
Is it new? What's it on?
HBO.
You mean Max, the one to watch?
Fuck, you're right. Basically, a news reporter was reading off the teleprompter and said, he's got a lot of chutzpah.
Oh, boo! That guy goes to Einstein Bros Bagels, bro.
Yeah.
You can. Oh man, that guy thinks locks is a thing that you put a key into.
Just people, yeah. Shit. Kevin, Left Behind is great. It's a fantastic time. I think a lot of people that were involved with that say it's like some of the most fun they've ever had on a set.
Well, yeah, but you know why it was the most fun that we've ever had on a set, Hunter? Because you graciously, and your family, the Doctors Davidson, provided use of your home in Elk Rapids.
Yeah.
And we went on a little road trip.
It was awesome.
And we partied a little bit.
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It was
working vacation.
There was one weekend in November
that
worked. There was literally one weekend in November that worked. So we were like, we're doing it this weekend, and then we're looking at this. We made a loose shot. We made the shot list, right?
Yeah.
You and Kevin mostly.
Yeah.
And we're looking at
in the car. Kevin's brain. I was driving. Kevin's in my passenger seat. And we're making the shot list, and he's like, "I'm like, Kevin, how you doing?" He's like, like brain dead, like smoke coming out of his ears, like kaput. And I was like, "Okay, Kevin, you can put it down. We'll
figure it out later."
Yeah. So we made the shot list.
And I'm thinking
shout out
like
Sienna Pearson and Will Shahab.
Yeah, for real. Oh my god. Okay.
And everybody else, and Lily Connie Bear.
I'm just thinking like it's going to be a miracle because I at this point I hadn't been on a set time wise that had run efficiently since probably freshman year. So I'm like, we only have one. We don't have any time or feasibility for reshoots. We gotta get everything done on this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm freaking out. So we take 3 cars up north to beautiful Elk Rapids. We stop at which just got sold, Riverwalk Grill. Just
really
changed owners.
Same. Is it going to be the same place? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember going in there, 15 of us sitting down for dinner or whatever.
Big table.
And you pull out your computer. We're like, all right, let's nail this production schedule down. And we get like 3 or 4 shots into the production schedule, and we look at each other.
we you can say it.
We're just like, dude, I don't know if we're gonna just have a production schedule.
Yeah.
I think we might just have to.
We get 3 cells down into like the Google Sheets, and we looked at each other and we thought the same thing at the same time. No words. We were just like, fuck. And I just shut my computer.
Dude, you shut. And I remember Kiana Pundit was like, what was that? What did you guys just do? And we were just like, no,
don't worry about
it. And at the time, and so yes, the great Will Shahab ordered bottomless lake perch at the restaurant. He ate about 13 pieces of fried perch.
Is he back? Is he back now?
He's coming back soon.
Okay.
We're hoping to get Young XP on the show at some point.
Please. Can I just watch? Can I just be there? And
Oh, absolutely. We'll call you in.
Yeah. Also, shout out MJ Johnson. Have not shouted MJ out yet, but MJ has worked on so many things with me.
I want to get through Left Behind really quick so we can get to Leighton. And then wrap up. We finish dinner. We go back to start night 1 of shooting, where Will eats like 2 dozen marshmallows.
Okay, guys, this was the most fun movie I've ever worked on.
It is like the biggest demonstration of like human feats of strength was Will's stomach on that
He ate like
night.
20 jet puffed,
burned marshmallows
in a gas fireplace. Like, you're not supposed to cook shit
because the
like,
script originally
yeah.
called for a bonfire
Outdoor.
scene, a night bonfire, which would have been nice and fun. But it's November in northern Michigan. It's freezing rain all night. We switched to the indoor fireplace.
Yeah, which was great. And it looked a lot better.
And the script also, it looked awesome, but the script calls for Will to burn his marshmallow. I like them burned and eat them. So we shoot that like.
And he didn't spit him out
Dude,
because he has to swallow it in
For
the
scene.
shot. And then, so he's just doing it over and over again. And he, like a champ, consistently every time. I like him burnt. Nom, 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 nom. And then that night, and we got pizza. Was that the pizza night?
Yeah.
We got pizza.
Well, no, because we wrapped, because we ate dinner, shot for like 4 or 5 hours, wrapped at around 1:32. We got pizza the next day.
And we had to wake up early.
Because then
early
because everyone had to
rolling at
leave
8.
Sunday morning. Because
Yeah.
that was Friday night. Everyone had to leave Sunday morning because everyone's on college schedules. So we're like,
And Will acted in like 2 other. Will and Sienna were both acting in
Sienna
other
acted
stuff.
in so many fucking things.
Yeah.
But we were like, we got to wake up early so we can rap at not an ungodly hour, and we wanted to have a little fun. So I think the second full
Shout
day
out
of the
Zora
shoot,
Kwasnik for saving the day.
our sound
Shout
recordist
out Zora
dropped out at the
Kwasnik.
last minute, and we didn't know who was gonna fucking run sound on the shoot. And the amazing Zora, who we talked about a little bit on the Lance episode, the writer and director of
Good.
Deadbeat.
Yes.
Zora was literally our fucking guardian angel. Zoomed in.
Zora
did
was in
sound
my
for us.
edit. We had the same editing class, and I was like, "Can anyone please like come up north? And it's gonna be fun, guys." And Zora was like, "I'll do
A
it."
champion with that classic Zora kind of ambivalence.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
And,
great time.
And that full day, I thought went remarkably efficiently. Would you agree?
It did. We were powering through. I was very stressed out.
Yeah.
I was on tip. I was also the director of photography, so I was also camera guy, and giving Kevin like help.
Because you were kind of mentoring Kevin on how to direct, because Kevin had never directed.
Yeah, Kevin never directed before, but Kevin.
And I was
picked
running
it up.
around-
Kevin picked up real quick.
I was running around getting apple cider and pizza and
Right. Will Shahab made his classic like cooked warm hot apple cider with
Yeah.
like 11 herbs and spices.
yeah. He was like, "You got to go get cider for
and
me,
a
so
lot
I
of
can show you my
alcohol.
famous hot apple cider."
It was great. We filmed an Image sex scene
The first and
last.
right now only MH sex scene, which I'm interested if Kevin ever comes on, because that scene is not supposed to play humorously at all. It's supposed to be kind of like the emotional hinge of the whole piece.
That's how we rewrote.
In the theater, dude, in the theater,
Biggest
because
laugh.
so many people knew Will and Sienna, and because
And Will's delivery, bro. He's just like, I don't feel like it right now.
it was raucous laughter at the time, which I never asked Kevin how he felt about that, because I knew it wasn't the intended response, but it was fucking hilarious.
I think that it's okay that it came off like that, because
Any reaction's better than no reaction.
it's hard for college students to do convincing drama.
Yeah.
Anybody can be funny, but when you try to have college students, not much stuff has happened to us yet.
Right. To channel into
Maybe
like this
a couple-
weighty, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a couple heartbreaks, maybe like a death in the family, maybe like, oh my God, I'm a freshman in college and this is a huge life shift for me.
Yeah.
But like can't usually big health issues or like
It's just they haven't
yeah.
gone through as much life.
yeah
And
because we young.
Okay, so that's Left
Yeah.
Behind. Left Behind
That's Left
ends on time. We get everything we need. We have a grand old time in northern Michigan.
We
It's
order
great.
pizza. I'm hugely lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
And while everyone else is partying, I'm like shitting.
Yeah.
The entire time.
We love lactose intolerance.
We do love
around here.
lactose intolerance. And Will was shitting because of the marshmallows, so we
Oh my
bonded
God.
over that.
So everyone had bad stomachs.
Yeah.
All right, let's move forward a little
Great
bit.
time though, great time. So then, so I finish Jonah's film part of I Miss and Love You, and we wrap, and I learned how to shoot on 60mm film. It was great. And then I wanted to do another. It was an independent study that I did, so I wanted to do another independent study with film because that's the only way you can work with it at Michigan and probably ever. It was You hit me up.
Because I needed 3 credits left to
You
graduate.
need 3 credits left to graduate, and you hit me up and you're like, "Hey, you want to do an independent study together?" I was like, "Yeah." So
I didn't want to do it by myself. I was really scared.
So we meet up, and I'm like, "I want to shoot on film." You're like, "Bet." Glad we did it that way. Could have also been a lot easier just not.
If we had
doing
just
that.
been like, we could just make a film.
Yeah, we could just made a film. I think it would have looked a lot different, a lot more pro if we had done it digitally. But I think that we shot this on film completely with like a little bit of reshoots done digitally that I then had to match on film. We made a thing called LATENT, a short horror thriller
Yeah.
drama
It was
noir.
It was originally conceived as neo noir, yes, but it ultimately
the
was not
Maltese
that. So I really wanted to write something because I hadn't written anything that had gotten produced in a while. So I really wanted to do that, and in my fucking 353 maybe one of the film theory classes that I had to write a paper on, I was watching Maltese Falcon. And I mean, I'm not like one of those guys that fucking loves the classics or whatever. Like, I think they're, they have their place.
They're old and stupid.
I mean,
No.
I'm not gonna say that, but like, a lot of times I watch these movies.
Pause, bro. Pause.
A lot of times I watch a movie from the fucking 40s or 50s, and I'm just like, dude, movies fucking used to suck.
Well, see, here's what sidetrack. We watched King Kong for 352.
Yeah.
I wish we'd watched more movies because that was a fun, together. Like that was a fun.
We had fun
time.
watching. Like we had fun watching that together.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily a bad movie. But when I watched
We were just
that,
ripping on
I
it the
am
whole
like, this
time.
is fucking old and stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way about Maltese Falcon though. I watched Maltese Falcon and felt engaged the whole time. And I do think that there is something to be desired about like that black and femme fatale and the leading man, just that gruff, like one shot flat,
Yeah.
black and white. So I wanted to have that somehow.
Can I just
In a
shout
short
out
film.
everyone that worked on Layden real quick?
Please go through.
Mackenzie Mollison, Atticus Olivet, Adela Papiage, Lily Connie Bear, MJ Johnson, Jason Gant, Jake Jor, Johannes Party, me, you, Jesse Krugel, Hannah Dando. There we go.
We love
My
Hannah
dad,
Dando.
Tony Primak. Tony Primak. Hey man, that kind of.
ATF.
Yeah. Waco. My dad was there. My dad was at Waco. Don't ask him about it. Tony's like an answering machine. He's unavailable. But
For comment?
yeah, if unavailable for comment. So there was them, Rohan Malatira, Morgan Kovaleski, Diego Rodriguez, and there's got to be more people.
Phoebe Unwin.
Sorry, I'll say it quieter.
Vivica Henry.
Phoebe Unwin and Vivica Henry, and Adriana Totaro. I want to name everyone because Jacob Kernis, Jack Wiley, Eric Dagoberg,
Yeah, fight coordinator.
Dagoberg. I never
Special effects makeup.
Maddie McKay. Al Young, Paul Sutherland, Rob, Terry, just for helping out.
Rachel, did we say Rachel Altland yet?
No, we didn't say Rachel Allen yet. Rachel and Kevin did sound.
Fuck you.
I want to give everyone just because we could not have made this movie without these people.
Without any of them.
Any of them. And there are probably people that I
name all of
missed,
them.
and I'm so sorry.
I think that. I
yeah.
think that got.
That's most of the people. That's most of the core
I think
people.
we got everybody.
Yeah, so
Gaffers.
Actors, we got all the actors.
Gaffer.
Oh, Gaffer. It was Hannah.
Yeah.
And like
Oh, Marissa Dutton. was there.
Marissa Dutton. I'm so sorry, Marissa. Yes, Marissa was there.
Friend of the show.
And
Friend of the show.
Hold on. Oh, Elena Sinsich.
Damn, we definitely could not have forgotten.
Mina
about
Nasri.
Mina. Kiana for one day.
Kiana Pundit.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Ultimately, dude, it was a fucking hell. It was an experience unlike anything that I've ever had, and I know it's probably 5-10-fold for you.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Like easily.
Ever.
Just and in
Like,
terms of
holy
so
shit.
you took over the director mantle. Thank God. I would have floundered awfully, and then me and Jesse kind of tried to reel in some of the rope on the producing side just to give you a little more space to handle creative things. And I had never tackled a project with that scope before, just in terms of coordinating that amount of people over that amount of days.
Doing everything when it needed to be done was the hardest part. We couldn't find a location. Jesse
for
and
the
I
longest
spent
time.
like a month or
Yeah.
like at least 3 weeks trying to
probably
find
was
a
a
camera
month.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was probably because I was like, God, dude, it's 2 weeks still shooting. We need to get a place, and we couldn't. So then we had to rewrite it, and we shot in the film equipment room, which I worked in. Best job ever. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Al. We shot there.
They saved
we got
our
to
life.
shoot in the studios,
Yeah.
in Studio C on the weekends, which was really hard to coordinate because you need a key to get in there, and we don't have it.
They helped us build like a set.
We built a set. We had a budget that we were under budget.
Yeah. That was crazy.
I don't know how we did that.
That was crazy.
Katie almost worked on it.
We were this close, and then you had to fucking go on a cruise or something.
Sorry.
Where'd you go, Katie?
Tell us
On a
about your
cruise.
tell us about your fucking.
Wait,
cruise.
where'd you go?
It's
on the
not
cruise?
about me.
I just want to know where you went.
Okay. It was,
Like, I'm genuinely curious.
Western Caribbean cruise.
That's so cool.
It was awesome. It was
What-
so much fun.
What cruise line did you take?
Royal Caribbean.
Is that the one with the poop that didn't work?
Roy
Like
Star
the-
Waco cruises.
I don't know. You're gonna have to elaborate. I don't
You know
if
that
poop
one,
doesn't
like the
work.
cruise ship, like all the shit broke down on it, and then like people couldn't use the bathroom, so they had to shit in buckets and then throw it over the side.
Yeah, that happened to me.
You're joking.
Totally serious.
All right, enough about Katie's fucking cruise.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. So we made this movie. Hunter and I wrote it over. We started over winter break. We finished it. We technically finished it after we had begun shooting, but we finished it in early February. So we wrote it in less than a month.
Yeah.
Many drafts
With Mackenzie in mind.
with Mackenzie in mind. We wrote it for Mackenzie. Mackenzie agreed. We then did auditions. We got Rohan Malatir to hop on. Oh, shout out Jack Weaver. Even though he was not able to be a part of it, we did cast him in a role. He's great. Love him. He's doing magic shows at
Yeah,
the
I
North
saw
Star
that.
Cafe. I think that's what it's called.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, and comedy.
Yeah, magic
so you guys
comedy,
go
yeah.
check that out. It's on Detroit Street in Ann Arbor. North Star Trading Post, I think it's called.
Yeah,
or
it
something.
sounds
North
about
Star
right.
Lounge.
Oh, that's what it
North
is.
Star Lounge. Yes.
what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
attached to just Detroit Street Filling Station.
Oh,
Detroit Street
word.
Filling Station.
I ate there once.
Trading Post Filling Station.
I didn't know it was
Yeah,
a vegan
no.
spot.
North Star is awesome. I go there all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's catch a show sometime.
I need to go there.
Shout
Shout
out.
out Jack Weaver. So we cast all these people, wonderful people. Atticus played the role of Wilmer, the
Antagonist.
villain. We had my dad playing good boy Simon. Simon Gooch was his unsaid last name.
How about that?
And then we had Mackenzie playing Violet, who is a person that likes developing film and then gets stalked by Atticus's character.
Yeah.
And at the end, my dad.
Helps. Well, let's not spoil
Yeah.
it. Go watch it. It will be out soon.
It will be out soon. Right now, shout out Joshua Chap.
Nice. Yes, we did talk about him a little bit on the Macy episode.
Yes.
I've only met him
Very
briefly
talented.
once, but I'm very impressed by that man's talent and work ethic.
Yes, he is great. He's an aerospace engineering major who does film scores and wants to pursue that as a career instead of, having a real job with steady income.
And good.
Mad props
income.
to him, but he's going to go far because he is extremely talented. He is currently writing a score and doing it for Latent. And then a few more finishing touches here and there, and it will be out for the world to see.
Very exciting.
Probably this summer. So we did that. I edited the movie largely over a 24-hour period. Would not recommend. I was very busy. I think it turned out well. I was delirious at the premiere.
I could tell.
Dude.
You were a little bit out of it.
I was so out of it. Like,
but it was a good night, and I want to.
People showed out. So thank you for everyone that came.
Yeah, it was awesome to see all of our friends, everyone that worked on it. I want to just circle back to the production of it one more time.
Yes,
because it was like so. It's not something that's done ever like at Michigan.
Nobody
anymore.
No one at very few people do stuff on film at Michigan, and they just took it away from the introductory production class.
And we found out why. It was super expensive just to acquire the shit.
Prohibitively expensive.
And then once you have it, you can't I think it's important to explain why it's difficult to shoot on film, right? Because you have your viewfinder on the camera, but you don't have a digital readout of what you're shooting.
No, you cannot. Well, you can, but the university, those cameras did not have the necessary equipment to watch a video feed of what we were shooting. So anything that we shot, the only person that could see it was the camera operator. Their eye has to be against the eyepiece the entire time, or else it lets light in, and then you get blue on your film, and you like flood it with light, which is bad. Because
fuck up your shot.
Yeah. So you shoot something and then it goes into the film roll and then you don't see it until like a month and a half later after you get it all back from Color Lab, which is a place in Maryland that we send our film to.
Right. So you
Great
can't.
job.
So
Shout out
after every
Color Lab.
take, you can't
Can't
rewatch
review
what you just took, which is so huge in student filmfilmmaking, especially
Huge.
because you're constantly looking to see if you got what you needed.
Yeah. It also wastes a lot of time. I've learned.
Waste so much time, and it means that
Which is a good thing because the first couple days we went long.
Yeah.
Every day after that, we wrapped early. Like not a little early, like a couple hours early.
Yeah.
Which was great.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Huge for morale.
Huge for morale. You only have a certain amount of film.
Right.
Because we can't afford more. So every shot, you can't do a million takes of a shot. I think the most takes we did was 4.
And it's not an SD card where if you fill it up on your first shots, you can transfer it, reset the film, and put it back in your camera. Once you fill up that film with images, it's fucking done.
I had to physically load and unload 5 rolls of 16 millimeter motion picture film into the camera, which was great fun. I really like doing it. It's super cool. It makes me feel like I'm one with the movie. It's like driving a stick shift.
It's traditional.
Traditional. Yeah. And it's scary because you're doing it blind. Your hands, those like things that astronauts use when they put their hands in the gloves and you're working. So, you put your hands in there, but you can't see anything because it's an opaque tent. Did you see me load film?
Yeah, I did watch you load one.
So I'm doing this blind, and you have to learn how to do it with your eyes, and then you do it by feel. And then if you fuck up and you let any light in for like a millisecond, it's done. And
you just lost $400. So I made it my mission to stay as far away from the film as I possibly could because I did not want to have anything to do with fucking up film, and I knew I probably would if I was handling it ever.
MJ had my back on that. MJ worked with me on my first independent study and a bunch of other stuff. So MJ knew how
an absolute
film worked.
superhero.
Yes.
MJ Johnson is.
Yes.
And the other, I think, biggest problem for us, which ultimately led us to reshoots, is you have to set focus with a tape measure. You can't twist a ring on the camera or you do
can
adjust out with that, but you don't know if it's in focus.
You can't look
unless you measure it exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes you can. I think we stopped measuring, and I think the rest of the shots look pretty good. So I think that particular eyepiece is accurate, but you should always measure with a tape measure. And we did that, and the entire first day, I guess we did it wrong because when I got the footage back, it was all out of focus, like really out of focus.
It's essentially $275 about of just unusable shots.
I think
more.
It was close to
a full roll.
It was close. It was $681 for 4 rolls. So yeah, about like $200 something
of just stuff that we had to just throw away.
Yeah. So.
That hurts.
Leighton taught me a lot. Leighton taught me a lot about just checking my ego at the door. Like I wanted this to be a senior thesis level production that was an independent study because I didn't get to do a thesis and I wanted to do it. And I think that everyone showed out. Everyone did a great job. But it was all happening so fast. Like I didn't even know what I wanted. Like sometimes, and my conduct on set the first couple of days was not very amicable, and I do apologize to everyone that was on the crew. those couple days. You guys did not deserve that. I wasn't like, shouting slurs and like throwing things.
It wasn't full tyranny.
Yeah.
But
it was just like.
But tensions were high.
Tensions were very high. And I think that after that, they got a lot lower and we had a lot more fun.
We did have to just get into a groove because after day one.
Also, no one is shot on film on this crew. Like,
right.
Except for me and MJ.
Time,
yeah. And like, it's hard.
It was hard on the actors. It was hard on the crew. And I'm very happy with what we accomplished.
If you fuck up a take in the middle, you can pick that take up, but from that point, because we don't have enough film to do it again.
Right.
A lot of rehearsals. Very expensive. We shot in black and white and in color,
which I loved. I thought that was really cool.
I loved it too. Very hard. When you're lighting it with red light, like it was like it was hard, but it was really fun. And what else? There's so much I want to say about this. We could do a whole episode just about Latent, but we worked very hard on it, and I edited it in 24 hours, and it's still in the finishing touches. It's going to come out soon. My dad acted in it. Thank you to my dad for being available and the correct age. He learned a lot about acting. He was very serious. Mackenzie was very impressed by my dad's thing. He's like, I sucked. That was terrible. I don't think he was. He's not an actor. No. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's my dad. Like, he's a federal agent. He was
serviceable, I would say.
Yeah, serviceable, and like, it worked.
That's what we need.
Do I think this is the best movie ever made? No. But when I got the footage back, I was devastated. I was like, oh my God, we can't
show this to anyone. And you sent it to me and fellow producer Jesse Krugel and
Hannah Dando,
assistant director and superhero Hannah Dando.
Yes.
And we were all like, we fucking love this.
Yeah, you guys are like, it looks great. And I'm like, awesome. I'm like, what? What the hell are you talking about? But after a lot of editing and stuff was in the frame, the boom was in the shot and people's arms were in the frame. And I was like, and I cropped it in. And I think it turned out really well.
I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I didn't know I was happy with it until after the premiere happened because I was working on it.
Yeah, you didn't know how to feel
the whole time.
It was done.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts, and I can't wait for people to see it. Now I want to show it to more people.
Yeah,
we did not advertise. I did not advertise the premiere a lot because I was like, I don't want people to see this. But it wasn't until during the editing process I was like, oh shit, this is like kind of fire. It's a student film. It is not the best thing ever made.
It looks so cool though.
I think a lot of the setups and payoffs work.
Yeah, I do too.
Script.
I think it functions. I think it functions fine as a script. It's nothing that'll knock your fucking socks off. But I think it functions well. Yeah. I think it looks really good.
I think it looks sick.
And I think the reveal at like the climax at the end, I think
people got great reaction.
Yeah.
I've shown it to like some of my friends that like don't go here.
Yeah.
And every time they start out, they're like on their phone, like half on their phone, like while it's playing. Then by like the middle of it, they're like in. And by the end of it, they're all on the edge of their seats or like the couch or whatever. And the ending happens. I'm not gonna spoil it. And they'll go, oh,
yeah, it's fun. It's like a fun movie moment.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite
doesn't make any sense why it happens.
Don't look into it too deep. I think my favorite sequence
it's cool.
is the dinner table sequence that we kind of wrote mostly for fun because we wanted to cast more of our friends, and we realized a whole other part of the story is the first drafts of the script had like a sequence with like the police and like 8 pages were devoted to like explaining a legal concept that we eventually scrapped for just this personal scene of Violet and all of her roommates, which is like visually and just the way it flows, I think is my favorite scene in the whole thing.
I think that was the quickest scene that we shot.
Yeah.
Everything was like 2 takes. One of them had 2 takes. Everything else was 1 take. And I was like, oh my God, it's not going to cut together. Because when you shoot on film, with the amount of film we had, every time we had a conversation between 2 characters, we would shoot. The person whose back was to the camera usually they say all their lines. You do the whole scene over and over and over again. But we didn't have enough time or film. So whoever's back was to the camera would just speed talk all their lines like this, like really fast, and they would skip words. And then the person on camera facing the camera would do their scene fully. I've never shot anything like that before. I've never heard of anyone doing that. Like I was like, is this a thing on Google? And like it wasn't a thing.
Is this a thing?
If it is a thing, no one talks about it. And so I was like, I have no idea how this is gonna cut together. Yeah. So I get the footage back and I'm like turned off by the stuff that was out of focus. But I finally like start actually editing it, and it cut together like that scene is basically the rough cut, like the
Nice.
first cut that I did.
Nice.
I was like, yes,
Nice. Yeah.
it works.
That's awesome.
Not perfect, but like it
It's
works.
fun. It's
I
fun.
agree. I really like that scene. I like there's a scene where Atticus visits Violet at her home.
All the
and
stuff.
it's-
I was upset that I couldn't make the house stuff.
Right, he was a little sick.
Got some
Supposedly,
snifflies.
hey, enough time has passed.
What the fuck?
If you were not actually sick, you can say it. It's okay. You can be honest.
No, man. I had fun every time I was on set for that shoot. I wouldn't have ducked any of it.
Except for that one time where you did, and you were on the cruise with Katie. It's okay.
I did.
saw the
I
picture.
called in a chopper to drop me off one day in the Western
Yeah,
Caribbean.
that happened. I can attest.
We had to. She was going to Mallorca, and I knew a person in Mallorca that I hadn't seen in a minute, so I figured quick day trip.
Hunter listened to Kokomo by the Beach Boys one fucking time, and he just had to go. Yeah. No, but yeah, he was sick, and we did it without him, but it
Turned
worked
out
out way
great.
better without.
It probably,
him there.
it probably did.
No, it was a good time. It was a good time. But we finished really early, and yeah, great set. I think I learned a lot. I think that's the side I learned the most.
Easily for me. Easily.
COVID also just robbed us of like being able to be on
Just reps.
fully functioning
Yeah.
sets. Yeah, that had budgets and like big stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I'm glad that we feel that way, and I know the other people on the upper crust of I know Jesse and Hannah feel that way. I hope that everyone else in the cast and crew feels that way as well.
Yeah, and everyone seemed to like it at the premiere. So, and I don't think they were lying.
I think we've earned enough clout that people wouldn't lie to us, but you never know.
Yeah, I hope people would be honest. Like if it sucks, tell me it sucks.
Hey, please,
It's fine.
Jake, we're at over 2 hours.
What?
So
Holy shit! It's 5:30. Yeah. Hey, this was.
did you have fun, man?
I had a great time. I love seeing Katie as
I love
always.
seeing you too.
And I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you
I
since
know,
like
man.
graduation. So good to
Good to
see
see
you,
you.
bro.
I'll
Thank
see
you
you up
so
north
much.
soon.
Yeah, yes, you will. Thank you so much for having me on. This
It
was
was
a
a pleasure.
blast. I can't wait to see the other episodes of this. And I'm glad.
can't wait.
And you unlocked a lot of like
I
memories.
know,
in
dude.
in
That's my
mind.
favorite part about this is getting people that I know, that I know well, and getting them to like open up where even they wouldn't think they would. That's the most fun I've had about this. So I'm glad you came on, man. I'm sure you'll be around. I'm sure you'll probably come on the show again at some point.
I would love to.
Yeah, we'll look forward
Yeah.
to that. And
LA
fuck it,
next.
dude. We're about
Let's
to
get
conquer
it.
the goddamn world here pretty
Mhm.
soon. All right.
Michigan Mafia.
I love you guys.